Let me test a few out on you.
Yeah, I don't care.
I was just gonna do something like.
Are you nervous? Are you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Are you nervous to have
your
voice put out over the internet for all to hear?
When are you gonna go live with this?
For the 4 people to listen to.
Before all 5
all
people.
5 of them listening.
When are you gonna put this live on? I guess I should open Captivate too, right?
It's supposed to go live tomorrow at 10.
Oh, really?
If we upload it, that's the thing. I think when you upload a new, they have it set on a timer, so new episodes get uploaded at 10 a.m.
I think I have my login saved.
10 a.m. I think. I can't remember if I set the days or if it's just 10 a.m. every day. It checks for a new
Captivate
episode.
Fuck my life. I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a UK-based company.
Yeah.
Which means we're probably going to get censored
right
off the bat.
It goes right into harm's way. I don't know, with that that intro I put in there, or that bio, I was pretty proud of that, I'm not gonna lie. You were like, I was so nervous that you're gonna be like, well, hold up, Craig, too much. Way too much.
No, I thought it was great.
Especially talking about people getting kneecapped and shit.
Alright. It's Britain. That's where kneecapping came from.
Alright, how's my hair look?
Fuck your hair. I
look like Dippy Long.
We can talk about that. That can be the first thing we talk about is your fucking hair.
So, I think, intro-wise, just do something like, hello, hello, welcome all. This is Harm's Way. Oh, are we using our real names? We should have fucking covered that right away. Craig and Eric. You want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with it. I don't give a shit. Not like I have a life they can destroy. Just kidding.
Should I be like, Craig and Eric, brothers from the same busted mother?
I'm Rick, and this is Boomer. Brothers from the same what?
Brothers from the same busted mother. No, I don't want to shit on Mom.
No,
like
don't bring anybody else in the family into this. But
Mom would be like,
we can use our names. All right, Tim Pool uses his real name.
All right, welcome. This is Tim Pool. Fuck.
You know the camera's going, right?
Is it? Did
you
start?
This is gonna be great.
That'll make the rap party. Yeah, I was
just be like, welcome to the Harm's Way podcast. I'm your host, Craig. I'm here with my younger, more handsome brother, Eric.
Okay. All right. You ready?
No, don't say that because it sounds really gay.
Oh, if that's the gayest part of our podcast, I think we're okay, Eric.
Oh, I think we gotta be careful.
Voice meter, mono. You want mono, not stereo, right?
I don't remember what the difference is.
I already. Oh wait, you have it here.
Oh God.
The difference between mono and stereo: mono audio has just one channel, whereas stereo contains 2 channels.
It's only going to be 1 channel because it's coming out of the voice meter mixer.
All right,
that's it. I think.
I'll center this up.
Yes, I would just put it as mono.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
Because we're
gonna do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2. Silent 1, like they do in the fucking movies.
You gotta do the intro.
Well, I was after I hit record.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Or you want me to do the intro right now?
No, you gotta introduce the podcast. So
yeah, after I hit record.
Hit record and let's go.
The video I watched said you gotta have a couple seconds of silence. You want to start off just talking.
Well, yeah, man.
All right, I'm hitting record. Okay, ready? Hello, welcome all to Harm's Way Podcast. This is your host, Craig, with my slightly uglier brother, Eric. Just kidding, he's beautiful, strong jawlines. Go ahead.
I appreciate that. Well, we're finally here.
It's been a long time coming.
It's been about a month of white-knuckled adrenaline rush to the finish, but we're here. We probably overdid it a little bit.
A lot of zeros on that dollar
final
cut.
I wanted to float that to you. So we kind of maybe overdid it a little bit. But
as far as what, on a monetary basis? Or what?
Well, yeah, I mean, we pretty much built a damn...
Built this city?
Yes. Somebody had to, because it's a shithole.
All right, well, first off, let's get into a little backstory first, okay, before we start talking about our woes of trying to be popular and whatever else you want to call this journey that we're on. 2 brothers. We,
Look at that. Steady as a surgeon.
Steady as like Michael J. Fox for some reason. So we wanted to start this podcast for probably about a year and a half now.
It's been about a year.
Talking, and all it took was taking a wish list and putting it from there into a cart, and then putting it on a credit card to kind of bring this to fruition, or whatever the hell it's called. But yeah, so we've wanted to do this for a really long time. My brother is quite technologically advanced in what he knows, and then you have me that is basically like a caveman.
You know, you're just like everybody else. You give me way too much credit.
Oh, shut up. I'm not that technologically versed, so I'm trying to learn this stuff.
No, I'm serious. It makes me nervous. It puts way too much responsibility on me, and I hate it.
All right, shut up. I just asked you to do my
very
taxes.
disappointed.
Okay?
What?
It's not that big of a deal. So I wanted to learn, and Eric had brought this idea up. Best way to learn is for us to kind of do something together and learn as we go.
Well, I wanted a project that I could work on with my brother.
Yeah.
So something fun to do, something fun we could do together, because I was, sick of my life just being working and sleeping all the time.
Yeah, that's rough.
And something to take my mind off the corporate meat grinder.
Corporate meat grinder. Episode 3. Be ready. Go ahead.
Is that where you're placing your bet? It's gonna be episode 3. Then I'm gonna come on.
Honestly, at this point, if we have an episode 3, I consider it a win.
I think, yeah.
This is really.
I don't think that's gonna be. Like I told you, this is a process. We're on step 1 of 57, and we'll get there. We're gonna learn.
It's one of those things where everybody that we know
got really excited when we said,
yeah, they got really excited.
We were doing
they've
a podcast.
Kind of been telling us to do something like this for a while, and I don't know why. I mean, I've always appreciated, comedic relief to the point where it makes people uncomfortable, i.e., funerals and hospital visits. But that's besides the point. I'm more. I appreciate laughing things off and making people laugh. My brother's the same way, so I don't know. It's a good way for us to be funny, but also,
yeah.
I mean, the whole main goal of this is to be entertaining.
This is a project we can do together.
Yeah.
So have fun with it, and literally just have as much fun as we can. And it, might go somewhere, might not. But
yeah,
I'm just, like I said, I'm sick and freaking tired of just having this blah existence of sitting around all the time sleeping or working. Like what the fuck is my life boiled down to?
That's
I'm tired of it. So let's have some fun.
I feel like it's working to complacency a lot. That's what kills me.
This isn't like a garage project where we put in a couple weekends, it's done, and we have fun with it.
No,
and then it wears off or breaks, and then... No, this is something that we can have fun with. This can be our hobby for the next 5 years of just...
Not a bad hobby either.
You get out of it what you put it. I think that's the other part of it is I was just itching for something to put that energy into. That's why I kept telling you, like, this is a project. This let's treat it like a project.
Yeah, for sure.
And we start talking about a podcast and bouncing ideas off each other, and then next thing I know, it's 3 a.m. and I'm in the garage throwing tools around trying to make sound effect videos.
I feel like podcasts are something everybody appreciates too, because even if you have a crappy, are we cussing or not? I don't know.
I've already said shit like 4 times.
Oh, you have. If you have a shitty podcast, it's still better than not having a podcast. Because
I'll try to keep the fuck word to a minimum.
Fuck cares. Even if you have a shitty podcast, you at some point or another got people to listen to you. Which is not like we're having some Mein Kampf situation or anything like that. But we're even if we got 4 listeners, I'd be amped. I'd probably throw a party and put more money into this shit than we already have, just for shits and gigs. But I know we got 1 listener, or 2 listeners for sure, because they're the one, like 2 of the most that have been texting me for us to get this on the books and get this recorded. And it's not because they don't have anything in their lives going on, but it's just because, like I said, they appreciate us, you and me, being locked in a basement just talking about nothing and everything. That's pretty much what the show is. Or
we are everything, and we are nothing.
We are nobody. We are somebody. I'm Batman.
So we're, like I said, we got a long list of stuff to do. And
we do.
Things will get better. We'll get better at this as we go along.
Yeah.
But
like I told you earlier,
I don't know about you, but this week is just felt like a like you ever just want the world to stop turning for a day? Just a day.
Yeah.
Just a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this week.
More,
I don't
more
know why,
recently
but
with
like,
my new
man.
job, but yeah.
Just like I felt like I couldn't.
I feel like it was a
Couldn't
bad
relax.
week for everybody.
It wasn't a bad week from a productivity standpoint. It was just a bad week. Like I felt like I was just kind of fighting my way through a thorn bush.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get out alive.
Without pants on.
I didn't get out alive. Yeah,
Yeah.
without pants on. You know, flapping in the wind.
Just helicoptering through thorn bushes.
But
Yeah, I'm excited to see where we go with this. And one thing I wanted to ask you: you ever notice how it's funny how we call mom mom and dad dad,
What?
but we never call each other brother?
Like, hey, brother. Let's
Yeah.
go not fucking Hulk Hogan.
Well,
Eric.
I mean, do
Hey,
you ever find
brother.
it funny that that's not the only thing we call each other?
Yeah, I mean, we tried calling mom and dad Mike and Cheryl for a week, and it didn't work out very well. They didn't appreciate it. I think they tried to stop feeding us or something. But no. Yeah, I guess I've thought of that. I don't know. It seems like eat a bunch of edibles and have that kind of conversation.
That was just a question that was buzzing around in my head this week. I was like, I'll save that for the podcast.
Well, Grandma's yelling, so it sounds like Carolina just scored. That sucks.
Let's not talk about sports.
It just leads to nothing good.
Oh, nothing good if you're a Browns fan, but yeah.
And I don't want people labeling us as another sports podcast because that's just
I
lame.
think we're far from that, Eric.
Good.
Okay, so a little background too, because I feel like it being, episodo numero uno. Eric comes from an engineering background. By engineering background, I mean he's an engineer. Eric and I, we're the same in a lot of
Sometimes.
ways, but we are also dynamically different when it comes to career choices. Eric took this nice, I don't want to.
I got my nice cushy cubicle.
Yeah. He's the
In the back
engineer.
of a factory somewhere.
Yeah, and I'm the guy that
I won't say where.
took a bunch
As much
of,
as I want to.
took a bunch of weird left turns to get to where I'm. Okay. I don't
Woke
want
up
to
in
say
one
it.
too many ditches.
Yeah, I'm not like, perfectly sound in my career. I really wouldn't call it a career. It is a job or an occupation,
I
but
feel like I don't really have a career.
we.
Wouldn't call it a career.
Yeah, but you have, the 6 digits of debt to go along with your nice.
You just had to bring that up. Okay, you want to go there?
Yeah, I went. To,
It's going to be episode 1.
no. Don't do that yet. We'll save that.
You want to talk about the student
I
loan
wanna-
situation?
I want to gain followers. I don't want everybody to listen to these guys and think, oh, they're just making a weird manifesto.
It's okay. My student loans are fine.
Yeah, they're better.
They're well fed,
Yeah, but
taken care of.
no, we have 2 different backgrounds, yet we come from the same place. That place being our mother, but
We lost a lot of time.
we did, and
When I
we
went to school.
We took a lot of hard.
That was a weird thing. Like you and I used to beat the other.
Paths.
I wouldn't describe us as close when we were growing up because you didn't want me around a lot, and that was just typical.
Well, that's-
That was typical of like an older brother, and that's fine. That's how sometimes siblings are. But then it was ironic as hell. It was like a bad romance movie where the timing's all fucked up. Like you and I started getting closer about the time you went off to school. And
Yeah.
then when I went off to school, I really fucked off to school
Yeah,
1,000 miles away.
well, I went in state, and you
But there
went
was
to the
about
armpit of the world.
there was about 6 years there that we lost where it was really, it's like, man, I just want to spend time with my brother and hang out because we just started getting along a lot better.
Yeah.
And like we started, like the happiest times were when it was you and me, whether we were just hanging out. I remember when I was in high school and you were off at college, like the random times you would just show up by the house because you were living
For laundry and
you were
food.
living out of town too,
Yeah.
not far, but you were still out of town. And like you'd show up those random Saturdays where there wasn't anything going on. Like those were the best times. And then there was like a 6-year gap where I was gone, where that just
And that's when it truly hit me. I think
and like some of my fondest
Shit.
memories are like you and Dad coming down to pick me up
yeah,
and stuff like that. And
eating at Hooters with my father.
oh my God, yeah,
was a
We stopped at
mistake.
Hooters one time when we went to
Big mistake. Hey,
when we
spoiler
went to,
alert.
when we went to Talladega.
If you're a broke 18-year-old, Hooters waitresses do not pay attention to you. Okay? If you're there with your father and you are mildly better looking than your father, but they know where the tip's coming from, they're gonna pay attention to that person.
Well, I lucked
Sorry
out because
for
I was
that.
with 3 middle-aged dudes, so they were all over us. It was like a hornet's nest.
Unless this waitress had severe daddy issues, which that's where my money's on. It was very weird to have that kind of attention paid to my father, and then you had 18-year-old me, who looked substantially better than I look now. We'll say that. And she was just like touching his arm, and it was really weird. I'll
Well,
just
that's,
leave it at that. And then I
That's
couldn't
actually,
even get a
that's actually a
handshake.
topic.
What the hell?
That's a topic that gets talked about a lot today, about how when you're a guy and you're in college, none of the girls want anything to do with you, and they're looking at older men
Oh, there's a
because
big
they
shift.
have jobs,
Yeah.
careers, they have money and shit like
It's
that.
because women are getting
But
smarter.
then the script flips once you're a guy and you start crossing 30, then you start getting these 20, 22-year-old girls that start looking at you. It's kind of this weird,
Shift.
it's this weird shift you see,
Yeah.
and like,
The hierarchy.
and I like,
almost.
people go into the whole, like, I don't want to say this without disparaging anybody, but people talk about how, like, if you're a woman and you're crossing 30 and you're not married, you don't have kids, and it's like, that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of weird. There's a weird
Yeah.
shift. There's weird shifts that go on and whatnot. And, like, you're in high school, you're dating girls your age. You're in college, you're trying to date girls your age, but then it doesn't really work out like that. And then, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it because I'm not an expert in that shit. But
women in general, obviously, disclaimer. But back to what we were talking about. Yeah, so we
went from
away.
college to Hooters to
Yeah,
I don't know where we're at.
This
now.
is what's going to happen. I hope anybody who enjoys listening to us is ready for that, because it's going to happen quite a bit.
There's also Twin Peaks, if that
You
fits your fancy. I went there once.
you went
It's kind of
you
same
went to
shit.
school, and then you obviously being further away, like you couldn't come home on the weekends to do laundry or receive nourishment. So
There was one point where I could.
you did for the hurricane, which I thought was hilarious because we didn't.
Well, that
we
I was
heard
only
from you in
I was
West
only a
Virginia,
part-time student. I was only a part-time student then, so I didn't have to be in class for a week.
Yeah.
So that came rolling through, and I was like, hell, I'm going home. I got 6 days to do. I get home tonight.
Roll.
I just cannonballed my way through the Appalachian Mountains.
In my 2001 Pontiac Grand Am.
Hey, that Grand Am was a tank, and I wish I still had that damn thing.
Yeah, cute. That would probably outlived all of our vehicles. But so yeah, you had the option to come home and get a job, and I think that was the best.
Well, there's also the aspect of like you got married and you
Well, yeah.
you started a family, so that kind of that took up a lot of your time. So there was kind of like a mismatch of schedules going on and stuff. So, but now we're like on the back end of everything. It's like you're working, I'm working, and we have the time. And
it's not to say that
we're
like you
older.
were
We're
never
not broke.
important to me, or we were
I mean,
never
we're pretty
close.
broke, but we're not destitute like we were growing up.
You were always important to me. It was just we had. I don't know. I guess you could say I always took it for granted that you would be there, because I was like, all right, well, we'll hang out. We'll have plenty of time to hang out when college is done, or chasing women is done, and all that stuff. Which not that we
Chasing
did much of
women.
that, but I hate it when people ask me, "Oh, are you and your brother close?" Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, of course. How can you not?
See,
be
that's
close?
not always the case. There's
I didn't
some
know
there's
that,
some
though,
siblings that they don't fucking die. There's
I
some
didn't
poor
know.
bastards out there who their next closest siblings 15 years older than them, and it's
Yeah,
like, man, that's gotta suck. That's gotta suck because you were 5, and they were 20. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, where are you gonna find?
They're graduating
gonna
high
treat
school.
you like a child.
When you're getting married, yeah.
That was the thing. You never treated me like a child at any point in my
That's
life.
because I didn't get treated like a child.
Well, I still get treated like a child, and it pisses me off.
I figured if mom and dad weren't gonna get you ready for this fucked up world, I had to.
I appreciate that. I do.
Because mom and dad
And even when I was,
they either cared too much or they didn't care at all.
I think mom and dad got too. Well, dad's always been really passive. Mom really didn't have to like keep tabs on me. I guess she was only ever worried about school.
You were at the tail end.
She was only ever worried about school, and so like, and that they didn't have to like push
That
me
was her one track.
and whatnot. So like, they just kind of left me alone. But
You were at the tail end of leaving in the morning, coming back when the streetlights came on. I think several generations after, a few generations after you, that shit went away because of creepies and pedos and
yeah, it's not the same time.
Catholics, all that stuff. So like, you
We're gonna get
shut up and
canceled
take
right
it.
off the bat.
Shut up and take it. You got the best of that because I was. There's only 3 years that separate us.
Even like when we were in the Scouts, I remember you telling me about like all the fucked up shit you guys did when you were in, and then by the time I was kind of on the tail end of that, like we weren't just like openly assaulting each other and like
that happened.
having a fight club and shit.
Like that legit like Boy Scout.
But
fight
I
club.
remember
That's episode 6. But go
I
ahead.
remember certain people that we knew growing up that were in our parents' generation. I'm not going to name who, but they told me stories like that. Oh yeah, we'd get in a hockey game with a rival troop, and it would literally just turn into us beating the ever living shit out of each other with sticks, and
There's so many
just
great
bloodying
ones.
each other up and shit. I'm like, good God, man! Like, I was. It's gonna sound nerdy as hell, but I was just there to like learn shit and get merit badges. And the rest of you, damn Neanderthals, were like teeing off on each other.
I was there for merit badges and to sell popcorn.
But like, look where it ended up, because it went from being in the Boy Scouts was like being in a fight club to okay, yeah, we're just here to get merit badges. Now there are women in the Boy Scouts, or there are girls in the Boy Scouts. So it's like, yeah, everything's kind of just like turned into shit. But
I
it was
literally
fun.
just wrote that
It was a
down
lot of fun. I'm glad I had those experiences growing up.
as an episode title. Boy Scout Fight Club. It just as much fighting, way less Edward Norton. But it was, yeah, we'll get to that someday. So that was weird because again, Eric and I didn't have the same experiences that a lot of people did. But Eric and I have never really processed experiences like other people. We remember the funny parts, we remember the sad parts, and everything else in between is just bullshit and whatever. But the way we see things in situations might be a little different than the average person, which is kind of like the beauty of it. It's I don't know what else. Some people might call it Asperger's and stuff, but we've never really been diagnosed with anything. We find shit funny that other people don't find funny.
It's a lot of dark humor.
That isn't it. Yeah, but it's not like the dark humor.
Yeah.
People nowadays, they use dark humor to try and joke about like really fucked up shit. And we're not like that. We see random funny things and things that could have been. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but you know what I mean. There's people now that are like, I like dark humor, dead puppies, and like that shit's not funny.
Well, that's not clever.
You're just wanting
There's no punchline.
attention by saying you have.
There's
dark
no
humor.
artistic grace to just saying shit like that.
Yeah. So that's
You know,
not what I mean.
a lot of comedies. How much comedy do you think is based on real life? We just tend to look for it.
If
more.
I ever got my career off the ground, I would say probably 80%.
I told you to do an open mic night.
80% of my comedy would be off of
You should go
me
do it.
waking up and taking a shit and then going to work. Like that's.
You've already
my
started the writing
experience.
and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
go
I
do an
know.
open mic night.
I have a massive fear of getting up in front of people though, and like.
Yeah, but you're only afraid of that for like the first 3 times, and then after that, it's.
I know, but those 3 times, man, that's enough
But
to shrivel.
that's
some-
a hard. I mean, that's a hard career path to go on because you have to overcome that.
Yeah,
You have to get up. I mean,
And
even
maybe
some of
this
the
is
best
helping.
comedians in the world will tell you, "Hey, you have to get up there and be willing to bomb."
I know.
But you stick with it.
I know.
You know,
And
it's like,
maybe
hey,
that's-
you don't give up after one try and then go sit on the porch like a goon.
Maybe doing this with you
Name that
helps
movie.
that. What'd you say?
I said, name that movie.
That's another thing too. You got to realize Eric and I are giant cinephiles.
Is that the word?
Cinephile? I don't know. Google it.
That's probably the perfect.
Most people are going to Google cinephile. They're going to spell it wrong, and there's going to be some really fucked up results that pop up. Do not put images on.
I'll tell you, we're gonna get canceled.
But
We speak in movie quotes.
yeah,
sometimes.
we do a lot. We use those a lot.
That's one of my favorite memories of you. We went to Family Video and we spent 3 hours in there. And
Here
we
comes
could-
another tangent.
We could not We walked out with no movies because we
No
couldn't
movies.
find a movie that you and I both had not seen.
There were no new movies at Family Video that day. So I don't know. Yeah.
But like fun shit like that is like those are the things I'm gonna remember forever.
Oh, my crippling fears. Okay, we'll do that. That's another good episode too. Pen click. But one of my,
You just gotta get over it.
I know, and like I said,
Dude, I'll take
It might
take it
work.
from me, being having an engineering background. You know how many times I've had to
There we
get
go.
up. You know how many times I've had to get up in front of people
yeah,
and
I
talk
know.
about shit that I know nothing
Yeah.
about.
I had
I
to.
mean, there's been times over the years where I got give like a technical presentation, and I know my shit, and I get up there and knock it out of the park, and it's like
Yeah.
you don't even
No, I
think
know.
about it. It's when you don't know what you're talking about that it gets kind of dicey, and you got to BS your way through stuff.
See, I like
but
that though. That's
I don't.
open to every interview I've ever done.
You see, like comedy would be a little bit different because it's your material. You know it. Get up there, sling it out there. If they don't like it, try again.
Yeah, no, I get you. I understand that.
And it's gonna come down to you're gonna get out of it what you put in. You hear about these guys that write all the time. I preached to you before about the 3 a.m. Hey, we got to do an episode. We got to commit to this. It's gonna be like that with comedy or anything you choose
Yeah, I
to
know.
do.
And it's again, I don't know. Maybe it's not the
I think
bombing.
Write
It's-
some shit down. Go do an open mic night. I'll go with you. It'd
It's
be
the
great.
not. I don't know. It's the perpetual fear of not being good enough.
You're never gonna know until you try.
It's exactly right, Eric. I 100% agree with you.
And that's the fun thing about open mic night is you don't have to I don't think you have to pay to be there or whatever. You just go do a one-off as like, hey, I always
Yeah,
wanted to.
you
You can always
should
just chalk it up to a bucket list
bomb.
thing at one point and just be like, I'm gonna go do this.
My opening line would be, man, everybody joked around about getting up here and completely forgetting everything that I was going to talk about.
you-
And then I just turn and stare. Just blankly.
Is your mic live? It's
Yeah,
not
why?
muted, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay. I just that
Something dumb
I
that I
looked
would
down
do,
and had
but-
that icy cold fear for a second of
Like I didn't.
does solid red mean it's muted or not?
Like the only thing we have to go on is the camera with shitty
I did that.
audio quality.
I remember in high school we had a project where we had to make a movie, and you give a bunch of sophomores cameras and microphones, and it's just an absolute shit show. Well, we filmed this scene in the library, and we kept screwing up and whatnot. It took us like 4.5 hours to get through a 90-second scene, and then I was the microphone boom guy, and at the end I found out I didn't turn the microphone on.
Oh,
It was
you
It was
smart,
stupid.
beautiful bastard.
Stupid. Not the other word. Yeah, I just had that.
No, I'm
I
watching.
got
the
real
timer
scared there
here.
for a second.
We're already 24 minutes in,
Yeah, it's gonna go quicker than you think.
so that's why I'm but I'm also watching our mic monitoring and stuff. Make sure.
Yeah, that's usually somebody's got to.
Excuse me.
Somebody's got to keep us in line. Dude, let's talk about your hair.
All
It was
right.
jet black.
Okay. No, you got to do another backstory. I did not have black hair. Dad has black hair. You and I have shit brown hair. Okay. We
It's
always
darker
have.
than mine.
And I don't know if anybody else
Well-
shares this opinion with me, but I personally just don't give a shit what I look like anymore. So I was approached.
That's really why my hair's long.
My wife, she
I
gets
just
her
stopped
hair.
caring.
She gets her hair done, and her sister, is her go-to person to do her hair. And I've been joking around because when she was like, "Oh, hey, when are you gonna do my hair?" I was like, "Well, when are you gonna do my hair?" Just being that guy. And she was like, "Oh, we'll just do it Saturday." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "But I get to pick the color." I was like, "You know what?
Why
I
would
was-
you agree to that?
No, shut up. I was gonna do a dealer's choice kind of deal anyway because I don't care, Eric. Look at me. I look
What if
like-
she made it pink?
I'm a 32-year-old potato. All right.
What
I
if
don't
she made it
care what I
pink?
look like? I don't know. I would have had pink hair, Eric. So we go over. She does Rachel's hair. She does my wife's hair.
Yeah, you get something name dropping.
Sorry, babe.
You already brought mom and dad into this.
Yeah, but I did not say their names.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You did.
I did. Oh shit. All right. We'll just have them sign a waiver that we bullshit.
Go back and bleep it out.
No, I'd rather just make them sign a waiver. So,
Or just not-
are we gonna get
just
sued by our
not-
parents?
No, just not tell them about it.
We don't live in Connecticut, Eric. That's not gonna
It's
happen.
like that one guy said, "Hey man, you know you made it, or you know you're doing well when you get death threats. You know you've made it when your parents are getting death threats."
You know you're legendary when your parents are getting death threats. So anyway,
That's
so
all
she
right.
did her hair, and then she was like, all right. It was during the long weekend, so I had Monday off too. And
I'm going to let you tell your side, and then I'm going to tell my side.
Of what? You weren't a part of any of it.
Well, I was at the, I mean, well,
You were a part of
when I walked in,
2 hours ago when you walked in. You was like, you gonna change
when
your
I
hair."
walked in today, it looked like I was talking to George Washington.
You keep using George Washington had white hair.
It
You
looked
fool.
white.
All right,
In
okay.
the low light, it looked white.
All right.
Anyway, it looks like shit. I just wish you
So
would have left
thank
it
you.
alone.
All right. Yeah. I trimmed my beard too, which was a giant mistake. I
that didn't
I
help.
cut the beard and I
Yeah, it didn't help
immediately
any.
regret because you see like the Peter Griffin shape of my face.
That's
in
how
my
I
head,
feel.
And oh my
I gotta
God.
get the bush back.
It's like a weird like
I
I
gotta
got this
get the
weird like
Jeremiah
Boston
Johnson
jaw.
going again,
I don't know
'cause-
if you ever heard seen people from New England. They just have like that weird jawline. Shout out
No.
to my New England people.
I have never heard that before.
Anyway, so yeah, so she does it and she's like, and I was like joking around. I was like, oh, what's the color? And they wouldn't tell me, so I was like, all right, whatever. So they did it, and you know what? I'm gonna have to do this.
What are you doing?
I don't know if I'm registering loud enough.
Just turn the gain up a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't have to do much.
All right,
I don't think so.
let's try that. Cause I'm having to. I still don't know if it's front or
I think you got to talk into the side of it.
top.
You don't talk into the top.
I don't know. It feels like the top. All right. Anyway, so she doesn't dyes it. She dyes it the first time, and I wash it off. Nothing happened. Literally,
We should have probably told everybody
same hair.
a disclaimer on this first episode because we're still bumblefucking our way through all this.
I mean, personally, we've been bumblefucking our way through life, so I feel like anybody who knows us
That's
is just
true.
gonna roll with that. Anybody who's trying to get to know us, they're just gonna have to.
They're just going to be along for the ride.
Yeah,
It's going to make it that much more special.
yeah. It's just a giant dumpster fire
I feel like I'm really like, what's the word I'm looking for?
up and down.
Yeah, like I'm really with my volume and
I-
like I'm whispering at some points. I'm
And
like,
for the
that
most
probably
part,
didn't
these
get
mics
picked up.
kind of fix that. Because, yeah, there is like, now I'm kind of, going a little higher.
There's probably going to be
Then I
some
fade
points.
out, and I fade
A lot
in,
of points
and I
where
fade out.
We're
But,
talking over each other and shit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But we'll learn as we go. So anyway, they die. Nothing happens. And they're like, wow, that's pretty weird, It dies, you're usually supposed to do your hair. So I'm like, whatever, I really don't care. I didn't pay for it. They paid for it. So we go home next day. They're like, hey, we're coming over. And I was like, all right. And she goes, oh, she's coming over to do your hair again. I was like, what? Why? Excuse me. And she goes, oh, they're going to bleach it first. Because the base color was already too dark. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Hair speak, women, whatever. So I was like, all right, yeah, whatever. Sit down, she bleaches it. Leave the bleach in for like 45 minutes.
Did it burn? Did it burn you?
No, everybody kept asking me that. I was like, it didn't really burn.
How pissed would you have been if they put that shit in there that makes it come out?
The foil?
No,
Oh.
the
Oh my.
shit that would make you bald.
Like nair?
Yeah,
If they nared me?
if they nared you.
Oh yeah, it'd be really weird. Yeah, I would, because I'd look like a gym teacher at that point.
Well, all that
That's not what
time
I want.
growing that out, and it would have been
Oh
gone.
yeah. I mean,
I'd
it
been
falls
pissed.
out daily, so like
Oh God, yes.
it's
it gets
bad.
this long.
Yeah.
Oh
So
God, I'm shedding like a dog.
yeah, she used the foil though to like do the roots and shit. So I was like, all right, whatever. And then she's like, okay, wash it out, And I was like, oh my God, I haven't had my hair bleached since high school. So I was like, wow, this looks really weird again. And then she only came down so far on the beard because I didn't want her to bleach the beard because it'd just be too much. My skin complex, I'm like, I'm too light for that. But so
Yeah, white and pasty, we get it.
yeah, okay, yeah. So
Although we tan pretty good.
yeah, we do. That's shout out to Grandpa.
We're not like
for
Irish.
passing down the Italian gene.
He's with us right now.
No, he's
No,
not.
he's not.
He's with us in spirit, and by spirit we mean Natty Light. But anyway, yeah, no, on our mom's side we are Italian, so we handle the sun better, but we don't handle depression
Alcoholism.
or alcohol. Right. So Anyway, so then they did the hair dye again, right? And I go upstairs and we let the hair dye sit for like an hour and 10 minutes, like way longer than you should have, or longer than you should have. I don't know. Again, I don't know hair. I go up, I wash it off, come back down, and it looks like this. It was supposed to be a smoke gray, so like
It's blonde.
yeah, no, that's just it kind of looks. There's a few gray streaks in there, and then my whole front part right here at the roots.
But under
is
the
still
low
brown.
light, it looked white, and I was like,
Yeah.
and the way you got it, I don't know how to. But the way you have it up right now, it looked like one of them powdered wigs that Washington used to wear. I was like, what the hell, Craig?
It's
Yeah, I was
weird. I thought of
disappointed
some-
you got rid of the beard.
I forgot all of the funny comparisons that I was going to talk about. Oh man, there were some good ones. Yeah, the light hair. Well, I joked around and said I got sick of getting fucked as a Stark, so I wanted to live as a Lannister. Shout out to all my Game of Thrones people. That was one that I thought of too, that I thought you would appreciate.
I was hanging out. I was hanging out with Mom and Dad. They've been marathoning through Game of Thrones right now.
Yeah, they're taking it again.
And Dad was like, well, we can go outside and watch Game of Thrones. And Mom's like, no. I'm like, what? Yeah, I mean, I've already seen it. And Mom goes, no, it's too embarrassing. I'm like, oh, okay. You guys want to watch it without me? I get it.
Oh no!
I don't know. I was just messing.
Like the season
I
one
was just-
Dickathon got him going.
I asked her about that. I was
I asked
like,
her about
did you
that,
guys
too.
see the midget three-way and all this shit? And
Oh, Mom had said something about Hodor's dick, though. I thought that was hilarious.
she said something to me about
She
that,
did?
too.
Oh, yes.
And I was just kind of like taken it back. I was like,
Oh, she was taken back, too.
I can
Taken
understand.
back to the 90s.
I could understand that she's embarrassed to watch something like that.
I used to
Her
love
son.
watching stuff like that with them, though. Because they got embarrassed and I did.
You remember when we were?
I don't get embarrassed.
Christ, we were kids and we watched American Psycho because we thought it was just another horror movie or whatever.
I watched American Beauty with them. And
I was when that movie came out. I was really young, so I didn't see that until I was in college.
Yeah,
But
that was all. That was
The American Psycho is always the one I think of because we've all like our entire family has always been into horror movies. And Mom's like, let's watch this one. And we didn't know anything about it, and then we're watching it and
Hey, Paul!
get on your knees so Sabrina can see your asshole.
Don't just stare at it, eat it!
Yeah.
I killed Paul Allen.
A lot of quotes from that movie too.
Yeah.
I used to have the whole rant. Remember the scene where he kills
Oh,
Paul.
yeah.
I used to have that whole his fascination
Huey
with
Lewis.
Huey Lewis and the
Dude.
news. Coincidentally, my coach had a fascination with Huey Lewis.
Which
That
coach?
was
Your
it.
tennis coach?
Yeah.
The pedo?
You can't say that.
You didn't say his name, I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Anywho,
Not like it matters now, he's probably in hell.
yeah, he might be dead. I mean, he was pretty old. But I lost where we're at. Game of Thrones.
Mom.
Your hair.
Oh
We're
my.
making a Lannister comparison.
That is such a far tangent that we went with that. That's hilarious.
It's not going to take much for me to forget where we are.
No, it's not.
I can't even, at work, it's a nightmare, man. I can't even remember conversations I had the day before with
What else?
who, about what. It's
I
a
always ended up-
shit show.
I always ended up watching weird stuff with Mom and Dad. Like, and unbeknownst to us, like, we had no idea that there'd be, like, full frontal or, like, awkward turtling or anything like that in the show.
Turtling?
Awkward turtling.
I don't know what that means.
It's like in a movie when two people are doing it missionary and you know there's no penetration, but they're acting like there's penetration.
Of course there's no penetration.
I know, but in my mind, I always think,
Oh
like,
my God.
oh, he's inside her. You know, it just helps me. It helps
It's
me.
a good thing I checked
get into
the
the
"Are you
movie.
going to use explicit language" box on the hosting site.
Why? Because I described awkward
I
terms.
didn't want to hit it. I was like, I'm going to make an honest effort, and then I scrolled back up the page and hit it real quick because I was like, we're not going to survive 5 seconds.
Technically, there's another awkward turtling is it's something else too. It's when it's just awkward missionary for like me because I'm overweight. And
The
my
turtles
wife,
don't
who's not overweight.
Do it that way.
No, they don't. But that's the beauty. That's the funny of the analogy. Oh
What happened?
Did we cap in time? It just shut off at
Is it right at 30 minutes?
35 and a half minutes. I'll pause that. Like, we're still mic monitoring, but
Well, the video's not gonna line up, but
that'll be off for like 10 seconds? That's fine. Sorry, folks.
well, yeah, I'll splice the video together. And
Technical difficulty,
the only thing I'm worried about there is the audio.
because
I
we're
don't-
still new.
I don't know if.
What
the
were we
hell
talking
was it?
about?
I don't remember what we were talking about.
My
I don't
hair,
remember
I
what I
think.
just told you we were just going to talk about.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's my bad. We went from hair. Oh yeah, so yeah, this is my hair. This is
This is you. This is a new you
this
now.
is who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What about you? Let's talk about your hair. What are your plans? You just gonna keep growing?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I just don't give a shit.
Okay, so you understand.
Yeah, that's literally what it
Okay.
was. It started getting long, and I was like,
You get it.
hell with it. I just let it go.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started to like it. So I said, I'm going to keep letting it go. It'd be a shame to cut it off now because I'm not a very patient person and it just takes too damn long to grow.
See, that's why I'm trying to get my sides caught up to everything else. I know it's gonna take like a year, so it's just gonna be
just
gonna
wanna see
look
how long
uncomfortable and awkward. That's why I stole one of her clips, and I got sick of putting it in a ponytail, so I just put one of these clips up here now. Looks so dumb, but I wear it to work.
It looks so
See, the way I look at it is people at work already, they don't talk to me. So
That's because they know you're my brother.
what have I got? No, the people that know you talk to me, and that makes me really uncomfortable. You know
Really?
how many awkward conversations I've had in the bathroom with engineers?
Really?
I don't know if you know this about your kind. Not all of you wash your fucking hands.
My kind? I always wash
Even
my
going
hands.
number
Don't
one.
even lump me in
and
with
that's an
that.
episode. You know what?
Don't-
I'm gonna go ahead and write this on the episode list too.
What about
Basic fucking hygiene.
Don't lump me in with them. I always wash my hands.
No, I know.
Which was ironic because that bathroom we had was an absolute
is-
dungeon.
There's one of my friends.
Did I
that
tell you
works
about
there.
the shit moat?
No, I don't want to. No, because I know. They know.
You
'Cause-
weren't there for the shit moat.
No, but there are 2 to 3 people that are working that place that
I had
they should
to-
be brought up on charges.
I had to
for what they do
jump
to the
that
toilets.
fucker like Indiana Jones to get in there to take a dump.
That's
It
disgusting.
was horrible. And then the one lady's like, I called the plumber. I was like, fuck the plumber, call a priest, because whatever came out of that drain was pure goddamn evil. I couldn't believe it. All the crap, no pun intended, but all the shit, all the shit we had to deal with normally on a daily basis in that department, and then I come in there and there's just a moat of shit going across the bathroom. I'm like, I can't deal with
It's
this.
pretty thorough. Yeah, and that's
Oh, it was so stupid.
I don't
It was just so
understand
stupid.
how people. Yeah.
But yeah, the people not washing their hands and stuff. It's like, come on.
Well, no.
man.
So I got a friend that works there, and his
Goes
boss.
in there, you go in there and wipe your ass, and then you don't wash your
His
hands.
boss is a director, so he's pretty high up.
We should
And-
probably be careful about.
I know,
talking
and that's
about.
all I'm gonna bring up. But I don't say anything to him. I just make a ugh, kind of like ugh, like when he reaches for the door, because he's done it multiple times when I was in there, and I'm peeing, and he pees, and you literally have to walk by the sink. You have to try to be disgusting to leave that bathroom without washing your hands. And he walks past the sink and grabs the handle. Like his right hand went from dick to handle seconds apart. How do you call yourself a human being? You are a dirty, dirty dumpster person.
I don't know what to say to you.
I'm sorry, but like it's basic hygiene. Like I get it. Number one's you're touching a penis, okay? You can't go penis to handle, and then expect me, who I gotta get out of that bathroom.
It's like that scene in
How
Cars.
else am I getting out of that bathroom without touching your penis handle? Tell me that,
You
Eric.
grab a paper towel, you wrap
Okay,
that,
a paper towel.
You wrap that around the handle, open the door, and then you fire it back into the bathroom and walk away.
Jesus Christ. No, because I'm just contributing to the problem. One, I'm not making that paper towel, the dick barrier, into the trash can. So it's just so somebody else has got to reach down, pick up the dick barrier. What if they're not wearing protective equipment? I'm trying.
The only
to
person
be-
that's going to pull a paper towel off the floor of the bathroom is the cleaning guy, and he's probably got gloves on anyway.
No, that's false. I've 100% picked them up and put them in there before. If there was one, I'd pick it up, put it in there.
You're playing with fire.
I'm trying to be a decent person. If that's playing with fire, then fucking call me a fireman.
You know
okay?
what? You know what? You're right. That's
all I'm trying to do.
What is it? The road to hell paved with good intentions. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Well,
I
then
thought
I
those
must have
wi- I
paved
thought
that
those
thing
wires sticking-
several times by now.
I thought those wires sticking out of the wall was a spider for a second. I was about to stop this whole thing to kill that thing.
Yo, don't make fun of my 1969 built house.
We had to take that phone off though.
No, I
Could you
agree.
imagine
It
that thing
looks
going
better.
on? Going on.
Oh yeah.
As many
Thing would just
as many
be
calls
spiking.
as this place gets, it'd be
Well, no,
going off every
there's
5
been
minutes.
less lately because I've been answering the telemarketers, and I've been. One time I just screamed into the phone. It's fucking hilarious. And then Grandma told me to stop. So I haven't done that, but they haven't called since. So, or they call when we're at work and we don't, really hear them. What were we talking?
I wonder if you accidentally hit a key on the keyboard and it stopped it.
I don't think I did, honestly. I mean, we'll find out in another
Well, you
35.
can push the keyboard away from you because you're making me nervous.
Oh my god! All right.
Said it was gonna be rocky. We'll get better.
Oh, it's gonna be the fucking Himalayas, man. Are you kidding me? What I'm gonna have to start like keeping track, like writing down every like 30th word we've said, just to stay on track. Like, what were we talking about?
We were talking about horror movies.
Whatever.
We were talking about your hair, and then we went into Game of
Yeah,
Thrones,
next
and we went into horror
subject.
movies.
Done like an hour on my hair. Next, what's the next?
And you
subject?
did spend a long time
work.
talking about your hair.
Oh, the dick barriers. Yeah. So, like, just wash your hands. Like, I understand. The reason is there's another person there that goes number 2 and doesn't wash their hands.
That's pretty gross.
That is foul.
It is pretty
Absolutely foul. Foul. Okay? Nobody comes out of that situation clean. You have to at least do it for peace of mind. And a standard bathroom door. Now, we have those bottom claw things on the bottom to open the door with your foot. But I'm not, I don't...
Oh, they put those in for COVID.
Yeah, I don't have great ACLs anyway in my knees. I can't attempt to do that shit. I'll fold it over like a flamingo. Like, it's just bad. So
I never used them.
now I have to
I
do this
refuse to
weird
use
like
them.
finger thing to try and open it with the dick handle, and it's just.
I remember them going around our department like it was like everybody's lives depended on them having to put those brackets on the doors.
Yeah, that's good.
And I remember walking up one day just as a certain somebody was putting it on the main door, and I stood there and I waited for him to run that last
Is it
screw
our
in,
certain somebody?
and then I grabbed the door handle and opened the door.
I hate him so much. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, like our survival depended.
Oh, they
on
moved
putting
hell
those
and
in.
earth to put those on. Fuck everything else that was going on that day. We got to get these foot brackets on these doors.
So people can open doors, and we can be a part of the solution, not the problem. So that's the big thing too. Oh man, I can't. We need to get off the subject of washing your hands, because I'll turn a fucking episode into that. Like that shit bothers me. And that's not like me being a germ phobe. That's like me being like a decent human being phobe. Like, life's harder when you're stupid already. Just make it a little easier, okay? Go ahead. What's the next subject?
Life being hard. And my big thing is I don't. You remember? Did you ever see the court transcript that the guys who made Rick and Morty, they did the voiceover for that court transcript, and it was just the most bonkers thing ever.
No.
Well, the judge at one point said, to the guy, "You have a constitutional right to be a dumbass," and it's always stuck in my mind that, man, how much better would this country be if you didn't have a constitutional right to be a dumbass? Because people play stupid games with the cops, they play stupid games in traffic, they just... How much better would it be if it's just like, oh, what, you rolled your car because you were, road raging or being, stupid, or, I just see a lot of situations where somebody does something stupid and, and then they end up,
So you're
filing a
saying-
lawsuit, making $1 million. Like
want-
the McDonald's coffee cup thing is what I'm getting at. Remember that?
No, what's that?
The classic lawsuit about that woman had the cup of coffee between her legs while she was driving.
Oh.
It spilled, burned the shit out of her, and she ended up.
Suing and making millions.
Yeah, like stuff like that. It's
So
like
what's
really,
your solution? You want to let stupid people
I think
do
if we
stupid
had
things?
that feedback loop of you don't have a right to be a dumbass. Like if you look at the situation, you're like, why did this happen? It's because this person was a dumbass. Then they shouldn't have, the recourse to.
They shouldn't be able to sue for money.
Shouldn't be able to sue. You shouldn't be able to go after somebody for so. The one big thing for me, and this is kind of right up our alley, concealed carry insurance. You've heard of that, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah. Well,
It's and they people get it so that they can pay out civil lawsuits, and I'm like, wait, if you have to defend yourself against somebody, you're not in the wrong. You're telling me that somebody can still come back and
Oh yeah. 100%.
sue you in
Yeah.
civil court
Family members.
because they forced you to defend your life? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, man?
that's what it's come.
How is
to.
how is that not the dumbest fucking thing you've ever heard?
It is, but it's
And like
it's a
all
flawed
that does
justice system.
is it tells people that it's okay to go around fucking with other people.
Yeah, I can steal your shit. I can
And
rob
just
you.
like the other thing is,
If you shoot me, my
it tells
family still
people
gets
it's
a payout.
okay for you to be a dumbass and turn your brain off all the time.
Yeah.
And I think if we took away that recourse, and we had this feedback loop of, you're an idiot, it's your fault, there's no recourse. I think maybe the collective IQ of our society would come up a little bit.
Yeah, you're trying to enact the plot
I just,
of the movie Idiocracy.
I just,
And just let shit
stupid
work
people
out.
make life harder for the rest of us.
I agree. But the problem is, stupid people don't know they're stupid, Eric. Stupid people.
That's why you.
There is a difference now.
That's
no, this is
why.
a disclaimer for the podcast.
When you spill a cup of coffee on yourself and it says caution, it's hot, or you're just, you need to realize, coffee's hot. It's usually a hot drink.
Yeah.
It's not like beer. But
Eric and I have
you take away that recourse and you tell them, no, you're a dumbass. You don't get to sue. And then they're like, oh, okay, I can't be a dumbass anymore.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Or they still continue to be a dumbass, and then Darwin takes over. And
Here we go. This is what I was waiting for. Eric and I have a strict, definitive definition that there's a difference for us between stupid people, and people doing stupid things. We don't necessarily think that everyone who does something stupid is stupid. Obviously, because of who we are and the amount of stupid shit we've done in our lives.
it's really common sense more, I think.
But it's stupid people that are the ones that refuse to acknowledge the existence and usage of common sense. I feel
It's
that
baseline
is
logical
important.
thinking.
You can
like
find
that
out
one
if
idiot.
someone's stupid by
It's like
spending
that one
5
idiot
minutes.
walking through the shop with his headphones in while there's forklifts, synchronized forklift driving going on. Like, yeah. Stuff like that really gets me. It's like, that's just basic common sense, basic logical thinking.
Eric,
And
I work
you're
in
gonna
the oil
bitch and
field.
moan
I
when
know
you get
about
hit.
stupid people.
Well, no, there's stupid people. Like, I'm not the smartest bulb in the shed. Okay?
Yeah.
But I think about what I'm doing. I'm pretty risk adverse too. Like, I'll change my driving habits just based on traffic and shit like that because I don't want to deal with blind curves and bad intersections. And that's another thing that pisses me off. You roll up to an intersection, and just every city and every town and every state in this country is just hell-bent on planting as much foliage right next to the corner. It's like they're trying to kill people like they generate revenue on it or something.
I mean, technically they do.
It blows me away. It blows me away how I roll up and it's like, well, I can see 30 feet up the road. I can see for a split
Let's
second
go.
before I get T-boned. It's stupid,
Yeah.
stupid shit like that. But yeah, going back to that. And before my job, people doing stupid shit made my job harder, and that's how it is now.
I think stupid
A lot of
people make
times when you're an
everybody's job
engineer,
harder.
I mean, God bless the technicians.
Thank you.
In any job I've ever been, God bless them. But when you're an engineer and you deal with stupid people doing stupid shit, it makes your job harder. It does. It
Yeah.
makes your job harder. And yeah, you just get tied up in shit that's not. It's like, man, this isn't my job to deal with this, but now all of a sudden I got to deal with this because this asshole was, showed up to work drunk, was driving a forklift, you know, playing slalom with the pallet racks, and now he's just destroyed a bunch of shit, and they all act like, oh, engineering's got to deal with it. What the fuck is engineering? Do you need me to engineer you a new rack that I can have somebody order and have here today? Get fucked.
The funniest part about this is,
What?
you know, I gotta watch what I say. Grandma told me she wanted to watch us do this.
Like sit down here in the corner like a goon?
Yeah. I said,
What she
I
thinks
said,
she
why
needs
don't
to
you
no.
let us
I just
do
realized
one and then edit, then you can listen.
we can just try to do a really clean episode. I just realized all the cursing. Like, she yelled at me earlier for using the F word upstairs.
I didn't hear you say the F word.
It was right when I came in the door when I said, "What the fuck?"
Oh, like
when I
first
said, "What the
sentence.
fuck's on your head?"
Jesus. That's right. Yeah,
She
yeah.
yells from the other room. No, hey, watch
Yeah.
your language. I'm like, oh.
Her 83-year-old grandmother. He just drops an F-bomb.
Hey, Grandpa used to do it too. He would actually. I think he would try to restrain himself, and then he would just hit that precipice, and it was over.
He was more like a. There's a reason people call him Bottle Rocket.
Once the first beer can bounced off the oven, you know, that was it. He's like,
It wasn't a beer can, it was a full beer, Eric. And I have to replace that fucking oven.
Well, technically, it was a
Side
beer can.
note.
It just still had beer in it.
My wife and I are purchasing my grandmother's house. My grandmother is still living with us, or allowing us to live with her, until she finds.
Life's about adversity, man.
So that's why, if you hear us talking about our grandmother, she still lives with us. We still live with her, actually.
Yeah, you're living with her.
But,
she let you.
she's
in.
a saint. We loved her.
She is. God bless her.
Yeah. Our grandfather was cool too, but he had his issues.
That'll be episodes 6 through 12.
I feel like let's find out if we're getting canceled first, then we'll talk about grandpa. How about
Yeah, I
that?
was a little worried about
I'm in love.
cursing on YouTube's not allowed anymore.
I'm in love with this. This is. I feel like this is going
You
swimming.
feeling better now?
Oh, I feel
Not so
amazing.
nervous. You gotta go boom boom.
The No, I physically can't shit anymore today. The no, the
Like I said.
nervousness went away. I think when we started, probably I want to say 5 to 8 minutes in. I mean, I'm still nervous, but it's I don't know. It more or less just feels kind of good. Like I don't know how that's gonna turn out. I'm pointing to the camera.
I don't have high hopes for that.
Yeah, I mean we'll see. That's
We can
what
always
we'd
ditch
have-
that. That's not a big deal.
That's what we'd have to edit. No, I think that's the way to go for. That's. We'll talk about that later. I definitely think we need that. We just have to figure out the audio.
I mean, yeah, I'll have to pull it up, see how
That's
the audio does.
three of
We
the
might have to pair.
3 of the 7 platforms is that. I definitely think we have to do that.
Well, once we get the first episode uploaded, then we start having options with how
I feel like
to.
I'm spitting on my mic.
I got that pop filter you put
Yeah.
on there too, but
We'll have to do that next time.
yeah, it's just it's a big learning curve and trying to figure out. I don't want to make it too complicated too early on, and
We're almost an hour in.
yeah,
It's crazy. About 53 minutes. And I feel like we haven't talked about shit. I mean, we've literally talked about shit, and then we've talked about shit. But I mean, there's so many other things, like, I don't know, what do you want to transition to? What do you want to talk about right now? I wrote some possible episode things, but I wrote titles of stuff that we could actually do, like, full episodes on, I think. This is more or less just, I guess what you would call a feel-out episode. People could feel us out. See, like, hey, they're
Yeah,
either
it's-
funny or hey, they're stupid.
it's,
This is just a small step on our journey, a first step, if you will, on our.
yeah, Craig, it's episode 1.
Yeah, Eric, I know what the
Yeah,
title
you
is.
expect to come out and have like a Netflix caliber comedy routine. It's not gonna happen. Like
No, but I definitely think there were some moments.
there's,
I think we had some-
It takes time to get used to and time to.
I think we had
talk
some
about
bangers.
carrying on conversations, and hopefully
I
eventually.
don't want to talk like it's
Hopefully, eventually interviewing people and whatnot. No, that's what I'm
That
saying.
would be-
There's so much here to learn.
Yeah, that's another thing we want to work towards.
You know how
is
many radio
interview.
shows I've done? 0.
That changes today.
Well, that's true. But you know, I'm not.
We would like to. So we're not going to have like the people we're going to have on for interviews are going to be
I'm-
fun and interesting people to us.
I'm
we
looking-
want you to meet them. We're not gonna have like Jay-Z and fucking Kanye or anything in my.
I wouldn't hate
basement.
Kanye in this house if my life depended on it. Anywho, I don't even know who Jay-Z is. Which one's it?
You know who?
Is he the one?
I should have used someone else. I'm sorry.
Is he married to Beyonce? Is that
Yeah,
him? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I know who he is.
Yeah, that.
I'd rather have like. Who am I thinking of? I'd rather have P Diddy.
You rather have Diddy?
Yeah, cause dude,
The guy that killed Pac? Oh. Whoopsies.
I
No.
always liked him because when you took me to see Get Him to the Greek,
Oh,
I feel like he's as much a part of that fond memory that I have of us spending time together.
so you want
And-
to talk to P. Diddy?
Russell Brand would be the epitome.
Yeah, except he's trying to have sex with us.
I'd let him touch me.
Oh my
I'd
god.
let him touch me.
Here we go. No,
Russell, I was reading an article about him trolling MSNBC the other day.
if you're talking
Fucking hilarious.
famous people, I wouldn't even know.
But
where
I
to
just think
start.
about that. I think about that moment. That's one of my fondest memories of you is when I was all doped up from getting my wisdom teeth taken out, and you were like, it was one of like those random Saturdays you were home from college or whatever, and
Yeah.
you're like, let's go see Get Him to the Greek, and I laughed so hard
Oh,
I
we saw it in
popped.
theaters, didn't we?
I laughed so hard I popped all my stitches in my mouth. I'm sitting there just blood all over my mouth, and we couldn't stop laughing. Man, that
It was
movie
not
was great.
a great older brother choice. In hindsight,
It was phenomenal.
but it
Come
was
on.
a great.
That was a great time.
That's wow.
I heard Diddy was in that. He
It was an underrated
freaking
movie.
hilarious. It
I
really
think,
was.
for-
People don't talk about that movie enough.
for comedy. It was pretty
was a-
solid all the way around.
There's a movie I was thinking about the other
The
day
Furry
that
Wall.
people don't talk about enough.
Oh, it's another episode. We just need
Can't
to do
remember.
movies. I need to get a separate notepad. This is kind of just like my scratch. Has like fucking dimensions on it and like our mortgage information.
A little bit of dip spit. I
Yeah.
look at my notes at work and there's just dip spit in the corners and shit. And I'm like, oh god.
It's like part of a grocery list and shit. Oh, that's another thing. I am 2.5 weeks without any nicotine.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
This is probably a bad time to tell you I was hoping we'd get sponsored by Copenhagen, but
Well, it's the thing is like if I
that's what I wanted to ask you. I was like, if we had a shot at a sponsor, who would you want?
Sig Sauer. They'd be top.
Nah, Ruger.
Maybe Mossberg, honestly.
Nah, I think Ruger. Ruger's got a special place in my heart.
Yeah, Ruger would be cool. Honestly, I'd like a shout out from my dudes down in Winter Greens, Florida.
You mean Winter Park?
No, I think it's Winter Greens.
Talk about ACI.
ACI. Let me Google that shit real quick. I'm gonna fact check myself. If my computer would work.
I'm waiting for that keyboard to die.
It's not going to. It's plugged in.
No, I mean like take a shit.
Oh yeah,
Because
Big
it's
R.
some rando you got out of
You
the
just like to
box.
see
looking
me
at you.
fail, you fucking bitch.
No, it gives me a reason to get you a new one.
Oh,
Better
okay. I just insult you and you just show me love. Damn, I'm sorry.
One. Hey man, I'm here to make your dreams come true.
Yeah, I wear a size light
Teamwork
up
makes the
gaming
dream
keyboard.
work. We're in this together.
What was I looking? Oh, ACI. Are we allowed to say their name? Nah, fuck it.
It's free advertising.
Oh, American Concrete.
That's
Institute?
4 more people
Yeah, that's
that are
what
going to
it
know
is.
who they are.
That's totally what I meant by ACI.
I'm embarrassed to admit I don't even know what ACI stands for.
Andrew Corp Industries.
Andro Corp Industries.
Again, am I supposed to say that?
You can't. I don't see why not.
And
I mean, the worst they're going to do is send us a cease and desist and say, hey, we don't want to be associated with you.
I'll send them back their AR.
Be like,
I'll be like, take it, you sons of bitches.
so I start
Winter Gardens,
Winter
Florida.
Gardens.
Yeah.
Well, Winter Park was where my one buddy,
Andrew Corp
who will
Industries.
remain nameless, that's where he went to college.
What was I even bringing that up for?
Hmm?
What was I bringing that up for?
Because we were talking about sponsors.
Oh yeah, a sponsor.
That's
in
hopefully step 16 on this
Winter
long-
Garden in Florida would be nice.
But I got a free 6 Hour sticker yesterday. And I left it in Dad's car. No, it's on the other side of the state.
Oh, other side of the state. Where are they at?
Well, you know where they're at. It's not the other side of the state. I was just
Oh, okay.
saying that as a
Ooh, that was really loud. I'm sorry.
misdirection.
Sorry, guys.
Trying not to get too detailed on everybody's whereabouts and
Ruger would be cool.
Ruger's got a special place in my heart.
I don't know why they would
Did you
sponsor
see,
us, but yeah.
Did you look at that? Their AR-10 that they came out with.
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah,
I did some research.
that's pretty sweet.
Ruger.
I'm glad they came out with
Sturm, right? Sturm Ruger. Sturm.
Sturm.
Ruger. Been around forever. I think they make a solid
Yeah.
product. They make great accessories.
The grandpa always loved them.
But, excuse me, their price point doesn't change like everybody else, I've noticed.
Well, their price point's usually a lot lower than everybody else.
For a
I was
better
surprised
product.
when I saw Royal King had the SIG's AR-10 for like $1,400, and then Ruger comes out with theirs, and then MSRP they called out was like $1,200, $1,250.
They make the Ruger 5.7, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they just came out with the I think it was the LC carbine,
Oh God.
which shoots at 5.7 by 28.
Yeah, that's what I want. So just to put that into perspective, again, a lot of the facts that we bring up on this may or may not be 100% accurate, but they're
Yeah,
at
I
least
don't
fucking
really.
close.
I'm not
So
an
give us a
expert.
break.
I'm not an expert in anything.
The Ruger 5.7,
But we talk about a wide range of shit, which is really
for
fun.
a while there was only two guns that you could get in the 5.7 by 28 millimeter platform. Or
One of them
caliber.
was that FN pistol, wasn't it?
Yeah, one was the FN,
the FN
which
5.7.
was literally like, if I'm not wrong, $400 to $500 more than the Ruger FN, or sorry, the Ruger 5.7. So this is saying the Pro model and all that stuff, roughly about $869. And I want to say the
For
FN,
what?
the Ruger 5.7.
Pistol?
Yes,
It's $850.
$869. But
I thought it was cheaper than
it was inflation.
that. Inflation.
But don't forget the FN, I believe, was well over $1,000.
Yeah, thanks, Trump.
I think it was well over 1,200 actually. To be honest with you, I could be wrong. Again, sorry, but yeah, this is our small dabbling in firearms.
Well, I think for episode 1 we should talk about a wide range of stuff.
It's kind of Eric and I's passion.
I don't know about
but we're
doing
not
like
psychopaths.
I don't know about doing themed episodes.
It's
Well,
not themed. They're just bullet points to bring up that are going to take up
Fair enough.
more than 15 minutes, I would think.
Well, like I wanted to do an episode where you and you know who got together and talked about serial killers and shit, and then anywho, moving on. It's not important now,
Okay.
but I was.
It's just a flat line there.
What I almost said earlier was I started playing video games again, but by started I mean there was that last weekend marathoning through the Spyro Reignited trilogy.
Yeah.
I marathoned through that first game in like 6-7 hours or some shit, and then my dumb ass thought I was gonna actually attempt to get through Ripto's Rage right after it. I made it about 45 minutes in, and then I wanted to shoot myself, so I went to bed. But I got through that one. And now it's on to Year of the Dragon, and I've never played that one, so I have no idea how that's gonna go.
Hey, side note. How
But I
many?
say started playing video games again, even though it's just been one. There's so many I started that I never finished, and my Steam library is like, there's like 180 games in there
Dear God.
that I've collected over 10 years.
All PC games.
I'm proud of that computer for not taking a shit. That thing's 10 years old.
Just upgrade it.
I've done a few upgrades throughout the year, but as far as like the motherboard and the CPU, that's all 10 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what processor are you running?
i5
Sixth,
5450 or something.
fifth gen, then.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
thought fifth gen.
Yeah.
So we're actually not that far apart with mine.
It was actually when I was playing the first Spyro game, it was stuttering. It was on low graphics and it was stuttering, and I was like, "This isn't right. Something's up." And I didn't dive into it to see what it was, but it got better as time went on.
See, I only have an i5 in this, but I have a beefed up graphics.
There's only an i5 in that.
That's what I went with. Yeah, the i7.
Well, for what we're doing, it's going to be great. And
Oh, yeah,
actually,
it's
for
fine.
that, I mean,
I can still throw stuff at it. It's fine.
there's
it's
probably a lot
10th
of modern games you can play too.
It's either 10th or 11th gen. But no, yeah, i5. The i7 was about $300 more. That's right.
I want to get you a Steam account set up so that I don't know if Call of Duty is still cross-platform, because there was I think it was the 2017 Modern Warfare that came out.
Oh,
I was playing on the computer with an Xbox controller because that's how I roll. I can't do keyboard mouse. I wasn't brought up with it. So it's like I'm indoctrinated to the controller. But I remember, I'd be playing on PC, and then my buddy would be playing on Xbox, and then our buddy, or another buddy of ours, was playing on PlayStation or something.
So
And Destiny was like that too. It
I
was
think Warzone is still free on PC. So I could take. I mean, I don't know how to run mouse and keyboard. I'm not one of those people,
I've tried it before. It's just like,
and I feel like I'm gonna run into all the hackers.
well, it's just like if you're playing competitive games and stuff like that, do you want to take the beating for the first few weeks while you get used to it, or not?
And I
Or
think I
you
have to
try
start over.
playing like standalone games, single player games to get you up to speed. I just never took the time to delve into it because I tried it once and I was like, I can't do this shit.
I think I'd have to like start over with all my weapons upgrades and stuff, and that to me just like gives me hives. Oh my god,
You guys.
give me it. M4A1. Oh my god.
I heard that,
Sights.
so they came out with Halo Infinite, I think last year or something, and I've heard it's a total dumpster fire. People are pissed off that they've completely wrecked that franchise.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't download that.
People are saying that game,
The guys I played with did all that for like 2 weeks.
that game was best when it was
I never.
single installments. Well, they Halo Infinite's like an semi-open world MMO instead of like a standalone single or up to 4-player like adventure.
Okay.
You know how like think about the first 3 games that came out. That was, you had levels.
What, 2005?
Well, 3 I think came out in 08.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But those ones, those style, where
I
it
can't
was
believe I used to watch
standalone levels, you know, and then like an action adventure,
Yeah.
first-person shooter. It was better when it was like that. And you know, you got all these people that play Destiny and all the World of Warcraft and all these MMOs and shit like that. They wanted something like that, and they went with that, and it's not panning out.
What's
People don't like
MMO?
mass multiplayer online.
Okay. So
Which I don't
why,
know.
but
I don't know if it's a traditional MMO.
you said MMO, I started thinking about like fucking medical coverage and shit.
Jesus, it's PPO, isn't it?
It's HMO and
I
PPO.
don't fucking know anything about that. I don't even have health insurance.
There you go, guys. That's the difference between Eric and I.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it much, but they wanted to go with that more style, more like Destiny.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an MMO, but it's got like a semi-open world, and instead of releasing new games, they'll release seasons with new content and shit. But the problem with that is they end up rehashing the same shit over and over
Yeah.
again. And then Destiny pissed me off because I didn't have a fire team to play with. There was one point where I had a buddy that I was playing with, but then his computer nuked itself, and he
told
was
me
like,
about that.
yeah, it's probably gonna be like 8 months before I can save up and get a new one. I was like, great. So, but like Destiny 2, I said Destiny, but I meant Destiny 2. I never played the first one.
Never got a chance
I've
to
talked
play
to
it,
people that put a lot of hours into both, and they've all said Destiny 1 was great.
Yeah.
2, they would hype up a new season with new content or whatever, and they would come out, and it would just be another competitive playlist. And I was like, the game, they geared it towards having a fire team, being single player, and you can jump in with randoms. And like when I would play in Crucible, which was player versus player, or they would do PV, player versus environment. So you'd
I
have
did that one a couple of times.
you'd have like Gambit. When Gambit came out, it was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game type. You can jump in with randoms. That was fun. You jump into Crucible, and they would have a Rumble playlist, which was all every man for himself. I'd do that sometimes. It was just a slugfest, but it'd be pretty fun. But like if you started getting really serious about like competitive playlist, or they hyped up Trials of Osiris for like a year, and I had no idea what it was. And then I was like, oh, cool, I'm getting hyped for this. Still didn't know what it was. Then they dropped it, and it was just another hardcore like comp player versus player. I'm like, fuck this, I'm done. They had the Menagerie, which was like, it was almost like casino night. You had all these different jumbled up game types that you would get like a random 4 different type. Some of it was obstacle courses, different objectives. You jump in with a bunch of random. One of them was a freaking relay race, and it was just you running and jumping obstacles and shit. It was a lot of fun. And then they sunsetted it. I got like a couple weeks that I jumped on late to that whole season of content, but it was a lot of fun. And then they sunsetted it, and I was like, well, it's just they started running out of shit for me to enjoy,
Yeah.
and it started becoming the same old shit getting rehashed and whatnot. So I was like, it got to the point where I had that anxiety of like, I've already put like 800 hours into this game. Like, do I want to give up now? You know, the whole sunk cost thing.
Yeah.
I got to that point, and I was like, just had this anxiety of, you already put all these hours into it. If you do quit, getting back into it later is going to be even harder. And it's like, you got a choice. Just you need a clean break. Or the other thing was, you know, you'd have bounties and certain missions and shit like that that would be, you'd have to do to get materials, to upgrade your guns and shit like that. It got to the point where it was becoming a chore, and I had to play it on a schedule.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, hey, if you want to, you know, I'd be sitting at work thinking, shit, I got bounties that are expiring tonight.
Did you feel you had to justify it by playing it, or you just were into it that much?
I think it was more, I was just into it that much, and I was like, I didn't want to walk away, but at the same time, I got tired of, like I just said, like, thinking, I got bounties that are expiring at 7 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, how
I
much
gotta
attention you gotta pay to
Yeah,
it.
and I was like, don't tell me when to play video games.
Yeah.
So
I don't
bro-
like that shit
I
either.
broke away from it, and I was like, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm never going back to it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to put any more money into it either. Yeah, but really hadn't put a lot of money into it. They had some, you know, good deals on the expansion packs and stuff like that. I got into it late enough that the base game came with like the first 3 expansions they did, which were like big story-based expansions. And so I got that in a bundle for like $25, and it was, you know, and then I think I bought the next expansion, which came with the next 3 seasons or something like that. So I think all in all, I was only into that game like $40-50. I got 800 hours out of it, so it was fun. It was a good time. It was more fun when my buddy, who I had actually never met in person, I met him through another friend. He lived in Indiana. Once I got linked up with him and we started playing, man, we go in Crucible and just rape people. You know?
Jesus Christ.
And it was a good time when we were playing together. And then, yeah, I kind of got spoiled on that. So when it was back to just being me, it's like, this sucks. Then the big things were the raids. Those things that would take you like, they have puzzles in them and shit like that. It'd take you like 8 hours to get through it. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. And you couldn't do those alone. You could, I think, but part of the experience there was jumping in with a team and figuring out the puzzles and, you know, working through it together and stuff like that. If you're by yourself, it's like, well, the only way to get through this is I gotta look up how to do all the puzzles and look up where to go and all this shit, and it completely defeats the purpose and wastes my time. So
I don't think I've ever played anything that
it was a fun game.
intricate.
The story mode, you know, playing through the campaign and whatnot, that was fun. Not being completely new to the Destiny franchise and universe and whatnot.
I shouldn't
It was
say
really
I
fun.
haven't played Destiny like that. I've played
Yeah.
a couple times when I jumped on with Mitch.
And like even Call of Duty, like I play the campaign. I was raised on Halo, where that's really what. Take that back. I was raised on Halo, and we never had internet or good internet, so I never
Xbox
played
Live.
online. Yeah, so the OG Xbox never played live. I never played.
beat the campaign.
I never played
7
Xbox
times.
Live until high school, college. I don't remember, but
Yeah.
so like
when I moved
being
out.
raised that, I was definitely a campaign kind of guy. Like I was in it for the story, you know. And
Yeah.
whatnot. And even that.
I'm right there with you because
Even that 2017 Modern Warfare when that came out, first thing I did was play the campaign.
I got a
And
PlayStation 3
I had a lot of fun with it.
when Rachel and I moved in together, and that was my first brush with Call of Duty by myself. Other than playing with my friends in college, because they always had. We set up. There was this one dorm it was an old converted Holiday Inn, and we had half a floor that was all playing Call of Duty Zombies together.
Mhm.
Everybody had. I played on this little, like Toshiba travel TV or something that we hooked up a console to, and then there's 4 other guys in that room playing, or 3 other guys, sorry, playing Zombies. That was the extent.
Zombies.
Then I
I'll
got-
never play zombies again.
I ended up getting a PlayStation 3 like on trade or something. And
Yeah.
I was like, I set up an account, and then I hooked it to our internet, and I was like, oh, hell, I can play Call of Duty now, like I used to.
Mm.
And then it all just went downhill from there.
There was sophomore year was when we all started getting into blood feuds with each other over Halo 4. Or it started out with Halo Reach. And
It sounds like something at engineering school.
we
What?
shut up. We
Go through.
Well, it turned into us being on a schedule, getting done with class, 7 p.m. It's like, hey,
That's what we do as
you
zombies.
better be on because 3 other guys are ready to whip your ass. And yeah, and then I started getting really into it, and then Halo 4 came out. And one of the guys I was living with, he pre-ordered it, and I pre-ordered it. And I was so pissed he got his copy a day before me. So he was sitting there talking shit. And yeah, it was a good time.
Ooh.
We played a lot of Reach, and then I played a lot of 4. Had a couple LAN parties in there where 8 of us in a room. Just, you remember my one friend from high school?
Yeah.
Him and his brother were really big into video games, and we they would have the 16-person Halo parties. 4 rooms of the house, 4 Xboxes,
God.
blood feuds, people yelling at each other. His parents are up sleeping. It's like 1 in the morning. And it was funny because some of the guys that were there were people you knew. They were older.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember.
Some of the guys knew you and all of that.
They were like, hey, I was at what they called it. I don't think they called it that. They were like,
A LAN party or a...
yeah. I think they might have just said video game party, but they're like, yeah, your brother was there. I was like, my
brother
brother?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It was good times.
Oh, yeah, did you guys tap the keg? And they were like, wrong party, Craig. Wrong party. I was like, okay, my bad.
Oh, well, there was a one day where, what's his name's dad ordered, God, he ordered like 20 pizzas or some shit. And he goes, you guys better get it. What's his name just put 8 pieces on a plate and was heading downstairs. I was like, God damn it. But yeah, it was a good time. 2 of the guys couldn't be on the same team because they were like legit.
Hated each other?
No, they were good.
Oh,
they were good. And they were
yeah.
like, we absolutely cannot have
The
these
jump
jumps.
scoping. Yeah.
Oh, they were insane. But it was always funny because a lot of times it would come down to them and we were all just watching, waiting with bated breath to see who took down who. And
That's awesome.
it was a good time. One of them I showed up there one day, and it's like 2 in the afternoon, right? And we would play all night. Show up at like 2 in the afternoon. Hardly anybody's there yet, but this guy was upstairs in my buddy's bedroom in the corner, and he had a little portable TV.
Yeah.
And he had a blanket like draped over him and the TV. He somehow had that rigged up to an Xbox and was already playing.
Oh my God.
And he was one of the ones that couldn't be on the same team as the other guy that was like MLG caliber, but
Yeah, that transfers to an addiction.
dude, there were some times where like somebody'd be like, watch this, and they'd kill somebody and you hear betrayed.
Yeah.
And then you'd hear a freaking controller hit the floor upstairs. Somebody come running downstairs, whichever one of you's on, get the fuck off my team right now. Oh man. We had a lot of fun.
Sorry, Daddy.
Oh, I remember the one day, man. The next morning, one time I woke up, walked downstairs, and one guy was face down on the couch, not moving. And yeah, we played till 5, 6 in the morning, and then have to pick up the pieces and go home the next day. It was a good time.
We're at an hour 18.
Yeah. You still want to do 2-hour episodes?
Oh, is that what we're going for? Yeah.
That's what we decided on.
I was just gonna fucking roll with it, but yeah.
I at least wanted that part kind of structured. Like we figure out what we're gonna go for episode length, what days we're gonna,
Yeah.
what schedule we're gonna be on. If anybody does listen to this,
If
I'm still
anybody.
alive. Episodes are gonna be Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Like it's a time capsule for the future, people.
Could be. We might look back on this 30, 40 years from now and be like, Jesus Christ, what the hell were we thinking?
Don't bet on the Yankees.
Yeah. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. For now. Could always be more. I mean, some people go every single day. I don't know about weekends. I got a YouTube channel I'm trying to start. That's going to be a bumpy ride.
Shout out.
It's going to be landlocked and loaded on YouTube.
Sounds cool.
It's going to be a big mishmash of
Yeah, we got a
garage
few.
projects, gun reviews, fun stuff that we want to do. Maybe fun stuff at the range,
We got
fun
a
stuff
bunch
we
of
want to
stuff
do
we're
at the
trying
lake
to
and
do.
whatnot. What?
So we got a bunch of stuff going on in the next.
Really,
I'll
I just
say in the
wanna-
next year, but probably sooner.
I don't really have a direction I want that channel to go into. I think that I just want it to be a catch-all for us having fun, spending time together, and yeah, just have fun.
We need to set back some.
Just
funding.
like, what am I doing that's not fun?
We need
Well,
funding
how do I
for
make it
the
fun?
next couple projects we have, so you have to save.
And then you got to set up on Instagram and TikTok That's all you.
Oh yeah, we are. I better. Probably should have said that in the beginning of the podcast.
Well, you usually say it at the end. When we go to sign off, you say what all your handles are and shit.
Yeah, and the YouTube page isn't live yet. That's
Yeah, there's a YouTube page for the podcast, and then mine's going to be a separate. Craig's probably going to be heavily involved with it. Oh, and Rumble. Also at Rumble.
because we.
On Rumble, landlocked and loaded.
Yeah, but all. Oh, but really, yeah. The Harm's Way is the whole point of Instagram and TikTok is that's
Yeah.
what we need to fix that.
To work on that.
quality.
Let's say that's all you.
We're
'cause
trying to
I'm
do-
allergic to social media.
We're trying to be like the big guys, but not really like the big guys. We want to have a video podcast. We want you guys to be able to see us, but also
Well,
be able to hear us.
a lot of the
And then-
podcasts I watch or listen to, I'm actually watching them on YouTube
I know, and that's a
because
huge thing.
they'll have multiple camera setups and they'll be bouncing back and forth, and
Yeah, and
it's
I
fun
want
to watch sometimes. And
I want that.
it's
'Cause we're not,
even if you're not watching it, I have it on the background while have it on in the background while I'm folding clothes or doing something menial.
Yeah.
So
future.
Hmm?
It's not bleak. No, wait, Eric. This is how Eric and I do it. He texts me or I text him. We just bounce ideas off of each other, and we either be
then
like,
Craig's blood pressure starts going up.
yeah. Parts of me start getting harder, and I get weird goosebumps. And he either tells me to calm down, it's a shitty idea, or hey, maybe that's worth looking into. And I finish.
Maybe it's just stupid enough to work. I don't know. I just want to have fun. Tired of my life being dull and boring.
Yeah. And then it's about I don't really have a statistic on it whether or not it's 50-50 because we've really not put any of our big ideas
It's just gonna be a lot of work.
into motion.
Let's have
yet.
fun with it.
It is gonna
That's
be a
all
lot
it
of
is.
work. It's gonna be a lot of learning.
That's all my expectations
I
are for it.
want to learn about editing and computer stuff.
I started down that road.
What? Well, think about it this
Video
way.
editing.
We could either do this or we could do heroin.
Heroin sounds like fun.
But I feel like this is more progressive. Heroin isn't conducive to our living as
True.
long as we want to live.
True.
Heroin costs more money in the long run,
I haven't decided how long I want to live yet.
and I'm kind of afraid of needles. Or
You know what that reminds me
putting
of?
heroin in my system.
You want to talk about the plasma donation centers?
No. We are going to start a donation for Eric to get his first tattoo. We'd like him
No,
to.
don't put that on me.
We'd like to.
I was just thinking yesterday, like,
We'd like to
I've
welcome
seen a
him
lot
into
of
the
people with
adult
tattoos
world
and shit, and I'm like, you
of
know what? I
getting
don't
a
want
tattoo.
that.
And
I don't want that.
It's not gonna be like a what's that
We ever
called? A
get to-
GoFundMe or anything.
If we ever get to
but-
1 million subscribers, I'll get a tattoo.
Ooh. That's first off, that's a big number,
Yeah, that's why I said it.
bitch. Secondly,
I want to get a tattoo. I would if there was some.
Why don't-
If there was some
meet
momentous.
me halfway
Okay, 500,000
at
subscribers.
10,000.
That's not halfway. That's
Okay.
That's that high school education kicking in.
You shut your mouth, okay? I had a good math teacher. She was a nice dude. And you meet me at 10,000. Oh, what platform though? What platform? We got to do something.
I don't know. I don't know how Instagram and TikTok work.
Our followers.
Followers.
But
10,000 followers.
We got to put this on there first, and we either got to do a video or probably. I'd like to do a video.
I just,
We'll check it out.
I am terrified.
Tell you what, that
of-
is TBD.
We hit that, and then we have a video of me
That is
face down
TBD.
with my hairy back flapping
Face
in the
down.
wind.
Where are you gonna get this tattoo?
I'm gonna get it on the back where nobody will see it.
A tramp stamp.
No.
Get a tramp stamp that says.
We get to
Freedom.
100 million subscribers, I'll get a tramp stamp. But
100 million. I'll get a tramp stamp.
I'm not getting.
I'll
a
get a
tramp
face
stamp.
tattoo,
I'm gonna get like a.
and I'll quit my job.
I'm gonna
and
get like a
videotape it.
little bumblebee or something on my.
No,
shoulder
listen.
blade.
Okay, so for the viewers,
Something
this
that you gotta use a magnifying
is
glass to see.
TBD. But we are going to do something like
Might be able to
this.
mistake it as a mole.
But I need him to come back with a more reasonable number. Something a little more. Not that I'm not saying. What did you say? 100,000. Not that I'm saying that's unattainable.
I said 500,000.
Five.
You said meet me halfway, and I said 500,000.
I don't want to wait 18 years to have my brother get.
I don't want to get a tattoo.
Well, you know what?
It's gonna have to be something momentous for me to be like, yeah.
Momentous?
To commemorate it.
We'll
I'll
think
get
of
the
something.
tattoo.
We'll think of something. See, this is where I wish we were
On
interactive with our listeners right
my
now,
inner
because
thigh.
people could be like, "Your inner thigh." Get a fish hook in there.
That way.
That way, there's always a
Inner
worm
thigh,
attached.
Lord knows nobody will ever see it. That I
Yeah, this shit's really hard. There's so much multitasking right now.
you got YouTube and you got Instagram, TikTok, and Rumble. Well, I don't know if we were gonna throw this on Rumble.
I don't. I mean, we should.
You need
We should.
you need to make a channel. Did you make a channel on Rumble?
No, I don't know if I could do that. I tried to take care of the rest of the stuff. And
You guys can't be doing this while we're doing the show.
No, we're not doing anything. We're talking.
I know, but you can't be. You're distracted and shit, and you're sitting here fucking texting.
Yeah, because we need contact solution. Fuck off, Eric.
I couldn't wait till later.
No. Yeah, so we're gonna be on Rumble, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, which I'm 32 years old, new to all that shit.
You're on 32.
Yeah, I'll be 33 in a couple
Oh
months.
yeah, your birthday's coming up.
Yeah. So for my birthday, I'd like my brother to get a tattoo.
For Craig's birthday, I'd like to have 500,000 subscribers.
Yeah. 500,000 is.
Oh, I already got your birthday gift.
Oh God, what did you get me? I didn't get you anything for your birthday, did I?
I don't give a shit.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're going to get sushi too,
Yeah, yeah.
because that's just as much a gift for me as it is for you.
That sushi we got before was really good.
I want to go. God, I wanted to go for months. I got nobody to go
I'll
with.
tell you this. We took
This
her
is the
home.
downside to being single.
I brought hers home that you got her,
Yeah.
and we left in the fridge, and she left like 2 pieces left. For like 3 days later, I ate it, and it was just as good.
It's good stuff.
3-day-old sushi in my fridge.
It's good stuff.
I don't.
It's the
I
good-
probably got sick, but yeah.
Good sushi.
No, yeah. So that's the plan. The plan is for the social media to get us out there that people can basically find us, see us, then direct them to where they can listen to us. Then they figure out whether or not they like us or not. If they don't like us, we get it. It's cool. We're not loved by everyone. We're not going to be loved by everyone. Eric and I have been dealing with that our entire lives. In fact, it's been more like a 60-40 split, and we're okay with it.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit.
I'll let you figure out which
It's
one's
kind of
which.
fun. Some people might find it
That's
entertaining.
that's the beauty of it. It's the entertaining part. That's what we want. We want to entertain people.
I'm
'Cause
looking
we've watched
forward-
a lot of people do stuff like this that were very entertaining. That went
I never thought I'd say this.
Didn't
but
get the love.
I'm looking forward to hopefully
a tattoo.
reconnecting. No, not a tattoo.
He's lying.
Reconnecting with old friends that maybe we haven't seen in a long time. People in the community that we know that we haven't seen in a long time. That I haven't seen in a long time. Maybe reaching out to them and being more involved in the community too, because that's becoming more and more important as the years go by. Is just being involved in the community and having an impact on your community.
It'd be nice
because
to have
most
that,
people
yeah.
are just very passive about it. And, well, that's why problems happen and why
It'd be nice to have a following and
It's
turn it
important
into
for
that.
everybody, especially as I'm not gonna say we're a small community, but I mean if you look at it like on like township level.
We are a small community,
Like-
but we're caught in between two massive shitbag
Shitholes,
communities. Yeah.
So
That we're not.
that
allowed
I'm looking
name
forward
yet.
to is that maybe one day we can start to be more involved in things like that.
I would like that. That's exactly.
Maybe do community events,
It's a beautiful idea.
Stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said you've already had friends that you don't talk to all the time or that you haven't seen in a long time, and they're like, "Where's episode 1?"
Oh, dude, they're breathing down my
people
neck.
we used to work with.
Got-
and people
since
that,
we started this, I got 2 other texts. But I have people that I want on here with us to that,
Oh,
that
yeah,
I
that's-
think would be great.
that's another part of it,
additions.
as we-
I want to wait a couple episodes. I want us to get
It's gonna be
solid
more,
down.
It's gonna be more than a couple episodes.
But,
I
I
mean, we
would
might
like-
be able to have like friends on and whatnot, but then
Yeah.
eventually it's
Well,
like
that's who it is.
you know.
Then there's
eventually we move into
interesting
having,
people.
having guests. Yeah, there's interesting people that I want to introduce.
That people that do what you just said with the community give back and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's people that I know that do that.
Yeah.
That I want to have them on because they're interesting and I want people to know them. I don't want to steal their following, and that's not the reason that I would.
Well,
want to
no.
have
See,
them
here's
on.
the thing. When it comes
That's
to
fine.
when it comes to podcasts, you know, you got a lot of big names out there. What I've gotten the most out of following those over the years is they've brought a lot of very interesting people into my room
Yeah.
that I would have never met, I would have never heard of.
Yes.
And now I know all these people, like famous archaeologists, not famous, but like archaeologists that are working on some really important stuff. People involved in politics. As you know, like I've been following politics a lot more those last few years because of just the crazy shit that's going on. But I'm starting to get linked up with people who are doing really important work and who are really involved and who are people that I want to follow and
Yeah, I
keep
got you.
tabs on and stuff like that. So there's that aspect of it. It's about linking up with interesting
And
people
random
who are doing
stuff,
really
too.
good work and getting there, helping them get out there. And I want to start with our community,
Yeah.
and get people more involved and be an advocate for people to get involved in their community because when shit's going downhill, it's like we got to come together and,
Yeah.
and figure out what the hell we're gonna do.
What do we got? Musicians, entrepreneurs, coaches, teachers, bunch of people that are at our disposal.
As
That
far
we
as
can have on
entrepreneurs,
here.
there's a particular person I have in mind that I'd love to get him on here.
Which is the guy that we used
and
to
be
work
like,
with.
tell young people how to go about starting a business because a lot of people out there have that fear of risk and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And with that, I want to get his perspective on how do you break through that barrier and how do you what's the process here? Because I think a lot of people, like I said, me especially, I've been wanting to start a business for a long time. Can't get over the risk aversion part of it.
Yeah.
But so that would be a good one.
If you can't get over the risk, I can't get over standing up in front of people and telling them jokes. We all have our shit.
Yeah, that's why we complete each other like two people scissors.
Don't do that shit, Freddie. Jesus Christ. He full on did.
We're like a puzzle. More like two people scissoring.
They were like two people ramming our genitals together. That's what we needed. Yeah. A weird Jackson Pollock style. Fuck you.
A little bit of nut rush.
Those aren't goosebumps.
But
That's road rash.
in the end, I just want to have fun.
No, and I think this has been a fun blast so far. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is great. I love it. I know the playback's probably gonna sound like shit. Ooh, what did I hit?
I told you stop. This is why I didn't want you
Okay.
fucking.
We're
around
still
with people.
going.
You've had your hands hovering over it for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
'cause
move
I
it.
like to make you nervous.
Move it
How's
off
this
to
feel,
the
Eric?
side. It's
fine.
like taking your cell phone and like putting it between the elevator car and the shaft.
You did
know?
that too?
Yeah. I did that once. No, I didn't do that. I would never do
That would
that.
give you anxiety, I know. But
I see videos of people doing that and it gives me anxiety. That's how.
dude, okay, this is a great topic. The videos that give me the most anxiety, the most. So I already have a fear of heights, right? 'Cause I'm short, fat, close to where I should be, which is the fucking ground. And you get those videos of those people that are hanging off of buildings.
Yeah.
By like one hand.
Yeah.
They're usually always long-haired or Asian, but they're always hanging, and they're hanging by two, and you're like, whoa.
And then pretty soon they're hanging by none.
Yeah, and there is the one guy that died
Oh, I've
last
seen-
year like that.
I've seen a
But
few where they're-
they're hanging, and there's some women too. I don't want to just say he because there's been some she's, and they're hanging by one arm. And I swear to God, the whole time watching the video, I'm not breathing. I'm literally like.
See,
there was
this
one.
one dude. He drops down hanging by two, and
Yeah.
all that. Then he goes to pull himself up. Can't pull himself up.
Yeah, he's screwed.
No, he just falls.
Oh God.
How fucking stupid are you?
Like
That's
there
like the
was-
guy shoving the pickle jar up his ass. It's like,
Whoa,
I don't feel bad for you because we all knew how that was going to end.
That's a giant
And you
painful
are an
jump, Eric.
idiot. Well, it's just when I see people do stupid shit like that, it's like I don't really.
Well, to be fair, I feel like if I was watching a guy sit on a pickle jar, that would give me just as much, if not more, anxiety as random people hanging off of ledges.
Yeah.
Because you know it's going to happen.
But the thing is, like, yeah, it gives you a lot of anxiety, and then the bad thing happens, and you're like, you know what? I don't have any like empathy for you. You're just
No
you're that
remorse.
fucking stupid. I have a hard time having empathy for people doing
And
stupid
we
shit
circle
like that.
right back to the stupid people shit. I love that.
That's just how my mind changes. As I'm,
Circle of life.
how it'll change. My mindset will change in the course of a 30-second video. It's like, oh God, what are you doing? You know what? He deserves. He deserves
no
it.
bounds. He deserves it. What was he doing? Like what? What's your end game there?
Die.
Did he die? Pickle jar guy?
Oh, I don't think he died, but I mean, imagine having to go to the emergency room. Like he was picking glass out of his asshole.
Did it wreck him?
Oh, it wrecked
It
him.
wrecked him.
Oh, it wrecked him. But imagine going to the damn emergency room like that. And like I seen this video one time where this guy was on the operating table. And, they cut him open and there's just this big tan, bulbous looking thing. You're like, what the? You think they're taking a tumor out of this guy? And the doctor's just pulling on this thing, pulling. Finally, he gets it out. It's this 3-foot long dildo.
Oh my god.
That's, God almighty, probably 8 inches around, 10 inches around, or not
It
around,
is.
10 inches in diameter.
His butt.
Yeah, he put it up there and they got
What do
it
you think he
stuck.
told the doctor? He's out.
Well, it was funny because the surgeon pulled it out and he holds it in front of the camera and he's just dying laughing. He's just laughing his ass off.
Oh my god.
And it's like, man, you think it's a tumor and like, you're like, man, that sucks. And then they pull that out and you're like, you fucking dumbass.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. Not a tumor.
It's a boner.
Good God, I saw that and I was like,
It's a giant.
I have no
dragon
pity for
dildo.
you, man. You do stupid shit like
I don't know.
that.
People are into weird stuff, dude. I don't know. Not my cup of tea. Not my dragon dildo.
Yeah,
Where were we going with this?
I don't know, but yeah.
So yeah, TikTok and Instagram.
TikTok and Instagram on Rumble, beside Rumble. I don't. That's another thing. It's just like
On Rumble.
putting yourself out there and doing all this social media networking. When I had a Facebook like 10 years ago, but I got rid of that, or I didn't get rid of it. I think it might be still live, but like that's a time capsule.
Yeah.
Open that up. And good God, Eric.
Yeah, because you still pop up every now and then for like if I search you, I can.
I couldn't imagine the messages like logging in and then just going through all the messages I've gotten over the last.
Did you kept
7
Messenger,
years.
though, right?
No,
You don't have.
I don't think you can use Messenger unless you have an active account.
You did. You did because that's what we use for hunting season.
Way to put that out there.
What? We used it to communicate when we were going
Yeah, we
hunting.
did. Oh, we never. That was
Because Mitch
stupid
only
because
gets-
we never.
He only
That was-
gets.
That was stupid.
Sorry,
'cause we-
Mitch.
We were never anywhere where we had internet.
No, but you can still use it off
Oh, yeah.
mobile network.
4G.
5G. Duh.
Yeah, I guess I did have. I thought. No, it's Marketplace. I'm thinking of.
Oh
You
yeah.
can't use Marketplace unless you have
You're
an
not
active
missing
account.
much there, Eric.
And to use Marketplace, I had to log in, and God knows what my
You want
login.
overpriced
My
shit.
login info. My login info is probably my freaking college email,
Now you're oversharing.
and you got to freaking. Well, yeah, it's gonna try to verify it or whatever through that email, and it's like, well, that's gone. I can't get into that
You
anymore.
mean like you tried to set up Google when I was trying to set all of our social media up because the Gmail account's connected to yours and I can't add mine. Every time I wanted to set something new up, it was like sending.
Yeah,
Sending
send a code.
verification codes.
Send a verification codes to me.
And then Rachel
And,
goes
it's
to
7 p.m. and I'm sleeping.
Yeah, she goes to help me connect to TikTok, and she's like, "Let's just do this another day because this is like the 9th one we've tried to get from your brother." I was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Well, I saw like the first code pull up, and I'm like, "This has got to be Craig." But
Oh,
I had
it
to
was.
I had to text you to make sure. I'm like,
No, it
I
was.
just set up that YouTube channel, so
Yeah.
or I set up the YouTube account. There's 2 channels attached to it.
Oh yeah,
That's the other thing. Is just I need a damn like org chart just to keep track of all the shit we're setting up and
Yeah, we're gonna get to that point where we're gonna have to use some Microsoft Excel, something like that. Calendar is the big one. Grandma's actually giving us.
That's gonna look so stupid on the video with the lights dimming. Every time the washing machine kicks on, the lights dim.
Oh, I don't care. Budgets, man. Budgets.
It's like we're living in Siberia.
Budgets. Well, if I run a VPN, I can actually do that.
Yeah, I guess.
The what was I? Damn it! This is gonna be hard to. Oh, Grandma's giving us a calendar to write on down here for episode stuff. We can also use.
It's got kittens on it or something.
Yeah, it's 100% the Humane Society kittens calendar, but just something that we got post it there and write on or something. Then we need to get a calendar going on the whiteboard.
I mean, we still got a lot of cleaning up to do, and
yeah, I gotta finish the basement. By finish, I mean
shelves to put
finish
up.
prepping it.
We got to finish the interior design that we want to eventually work towards. And
Side note: there is a board there.
the ceiling just needs dealt. What?
There is a board there,
Oh,
so I could 100% put a mic boom up there, and you could too. Well, yours is kind of off a little bit, but
yeah.
I could put
Well,
my
the
mic
ceiling's
boom.
a separate thing that needs dealt with.
And then what I could do is just put it up. But yeah, sorry, it's kind of boring for people to listen to.
I just
Disregard
realized that.
We're
Go off on. That's
We're
not a
over here
tangent
talking-
we want to go off on.
we're talking about home renovations to our office.
Well, we're
slash
talking about this as a
my
project,
basement.
and
We
this
yeah,
is a
we had to
project.
get something in the books and some content made. We basically had to start this, kick this train. Kick this train? What the fuck am I saying?
light this candle.
Yeah, we basically had to light this torch. I'm fucked. We had to get going with something and get rolling on this. How about that? We had to get rolling.
Yeah. Well, we went hard at it for 2 weekends, and then we had 2 weekends where we
Well, everything was
kind of
prep,
died.
prep,
and then
prep. Let's prep, let's prep, let's prep. And then we're like, fuck it, let's do an
We gotta
episode.
get going.
Let's do an episode. Let's
Gotta
get this
get going.
rolling. We gotta get content. That's where everybody fails, is they fail to make content.
Or I think a lot of people struggle to commit,
That too.
or they pigeonhole themselves into
They limit, yeah.
certain content. Because I've known people that have started YouTube channels and they kind of pigeonholed themselves into a topic that
They can only, yeah.
really didn't go anywhere.
So we just gotta
And-
keep up. We gotta keep putting stuff out to the platform.
That's why, usually people structure things around a talent that they have or a skill or something like that.
And this is easy.
I don't really have talent or
We don't have
skill.
talents.
Yeah, we don't have talents. So it's just kind of a free form.
We can talk. We can occasionally make people laugh.
Free for all.
We can breathe. We're pretty good at breathing.
I have to tell you to breathe sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not good at breathing on stairs. Stairs are hard for me. We're pretty good at seeing funny situations. I don't know. That's it. Yeah, Eric and I really don't have that much talent. He's good at engineer
It's
stuff,
about having fun.
which I imagine is numbers.
I just
and,
imagine, if we
making
just try to
people's
have
lives harder.
we just try to have fun and do cool projects and
I mean,
see where
that's
we
not-
go. I mean, I have an end goal in mind. I'm not gonna talk about it yet, but I think I've mentioned it to you before. I have an end goal for if I was going to start a business, like a
yeah.
legitimate business, not like selling drugs or kidneys or anything.
That's what I'd like to have as a guest, is somebody that has a very successful business that is starting out a lot like you and
I
me.
thought you were gonna say somebody who's missing a kidney, but anywho,
That too. Going on the list.
yeah, just I have an idea in mind for where I want it to end up, but it's a long way off, and we'll flesh that out as
A
we
lot
go.
of things are a long way off, but I guess the gist of this is you just gotta shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
You gotta. We could have
I mean, us
talked
sitting
about
around,
this for another
us
3
sitting around
weeks.
talking about it or putting it
Yeah.
off till next year wasn't going to get us anywhere.
And we've put a good amount of money into equipment, accessories, stuff. Excuse me. But it's time to just put lips to microphone and then do it.
Yeah. Start scissoring.
Goddamn, stop that. But no, my joke's about engineering. I feel like we kind of got the bases covered there, because somebody's going to listen, they're going to be like, oh, they're going to be an engineer. They're gonna
Hopefully
be
it's not somebody I went to school with.
They're going to be like, oh, I'm going to listen to this guy because he's an engineer, he's cool. But his fat brother really hates engineers. So,
Oh, I
it's
hate
kinda like-
engineers too.
it's, careful, because you got to cover your base. You got to pull your weight with the engineering crowd. And then the people that are like me, the technicians, the guys that have to deal with the fucked up shit that you guys put together on paper, and we have to make it But of course, you
That's,
are the.
that's part of
you
why
are-
I don't like engineers, is
Yeah,
because
you are
I've
the
been on both
exception.
sides of that fence
Yeah.
before, and there's two types of engineers. We'll get into that later, but there's two types of us.
Yeah, mouth breathers and good ones.
No, not at all. But yeah,
No, we got that covered though. We obviously, I don't hate all engineers. I think that a lot of engineers are really good. I think you're a pretty good engineer.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us come out of school and we're ill prepared.
I
I
just
think a lot of us come out of school and don't know. You get a lot of us come out of school and never worked an internship or anything, so they don't really know what they're getting into, and then some bad things happen and whatnot. But
you get a lot of
we can
people
always talk
that
about
think
that later.
that when they
That is one thing I want to.
are an engineer, they automatically get a crown on their head. That is not good.
I don't like those kind of people.
Yeah, nobody does.
But I mean, that's a topic we can have an episode on, because I do want to convey some things to some young people that might be coming out of school, like what to expect and whatnot.
Yeah. For
I
sure.
feel like I got a lot that I could tell young people to try to help them out. You know,
That's good.
like our lives have kind of been enough of a clusterfuck of bad decisions and
Well,
getting duped, and not getting duped, but conned into certain.
college. You can just say college.
Yeah, I'll say college. Well, I mean, yeah, if a young person came to me and asked me, should I go to college or not, I mean, I'd have a lot to say.
Yeah, I know.
It depends what you want to do. It depends what your mindset is, and I think there's a lot of
What you wanna do is the
shit
biggest.
that I wish I knew when I was 18, and I didn't have anybody around me that knew what was up. You know, it's
Yeah.
like nobody in our family's not really the college type. You know,
It's a bit of an undersell, but yeah.
you know, and yeah, it's just there's a lot there that I think
Biggest point to me is
parents need to be involved.
Doing what you want to do.
They need to figure shit out before their kids figure shit out.
Yeah, that's a big
I think
one.
that's the big one. One of the things I was going to bring up about that whole thing, about like us growing up and whatnot. The thing that always bothered me, if I was ever going to have kids, the one thing parents need to do, and this is a good piece of advice for you, because you do have a child and I don't, but
Valid.
I think one I guess failure that our parents had was you need to know who your kids are hanging out with. You know, like we growing up, we were never allowed to have friends over. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
You notice how we always ended up at our friend's house,
Yeah.
and like some people just fine, but then
How was your other friends' houses, though? Did you have friends with like big houses, nice houses?
I'm not talking like monetary. I'm talking about were these
Oh,
good,
no, I'm just
were
saying.
these good people or not? You know what I mean? Because there were like I had some friends that they were good people. You know,
Yeah.
I'm over at their house hanging around, and I had some friends I hung around with at their house a lot that were stone cold criminals, and just that was not a crowd I should have been hanging out with. But that's like one piece of
That's
advice
valid.
that I would give is like if I ever have kids, it's like my house is going to be the house they're coming over to because I want to keep a fucking eye on everybody, and I want to make sure I know who my kids are hanging out with, and I want to make sure that they're not. I'm not going to be a snowplow parent, but there's definitely there's good kids and there's bad kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like-
yeah, I know. I definitely know. That's why one of the things I pride myself
Kids
on
tend
is
to run with the crowd
reading
and,
people.
and shit like that.
It's difficult to read kids, though. I think it's easier to read their parents.
You have to read their parents. Well, that's part of like know who your kids are. If you know who your kids are hanging out with, you can get to know their parents and figure out.
And that's mine. So, a segue into
I know
this
that was
last
that
thing.
was random
No,
as
that's,
shit.
that's
but,
actually pretty cool because what Rachel and I had to do. Oh, damn it.
but we were talking about growing up and stuff earlier, and
A couple weeks ago, or no, yeah, 2 weekends ago. Remember we had the NFL draft, and
yeah.
we had to go to an open house for preschool, which I've never had the luxury of having to deal with, and that's the exact situation we walked into because he's in a very small class,
Yeah.
and the open house was other parents, so you didn't just get to see and not necessarily judge, but read the children and then read, but you also got to read the parents.
Yeah, no,
And
you're
a lot of
absolutely
them-
right.
It was very interesting. A lot of them more or less seemed same demographic as Rachel and I. The same.
You know, you mean background?
I said what I said. Okay. The same. Yeah. Yes. The same background. The same. It seemed the same but different. It was hard to describe because, like, we did talk to one or two other sets of parents, just to gauge the feel. One of them, our son, is extremely happy to see tomorrow because it's a potential friend for him. But my only thing is he's already missed. Our son has already missed 3 days, 2 days, 2 or 3 days because he was at the camper with our parents. So I don't want him.
He missed school?
Yeah, he just those 2 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days. Because we had already planned that. We're not going to be like, oh no, So it's very. We wanted to make sure. My biggest fear, like I don't. It's weird. Like as a father, you have these ups and downs of fears. You always fear for your child's physical well-being, but also like I have this crippling fear where he's gonna walk into school and like no one's gonna like him. Like how fucking weird is that? Like coming from me, who I walked into school every day of my life, not giving a soul fuck about who liked me or who didn't. In fact, I had always more people that liked me, and the people that didn't like me ended up liking me because they got to know me. But
yeah,
it was like I put out this outward appearance that I didn't care, but deep down inside you care a little, you just do. And now I'm caring about my son being liked, and if he falls and hurts himself on the playground, like that's it is what it is. But if he walks in there and nobody likes him, like that fucking cripples me.
I mean, it comes down to
it's weird. It's so weird.
It comes down to like raising him right, teaching him right from wrong, teaching him how to have empathy and compassion for others. Because the thing is, as you get, it's better to start that. Like, kids aren't gonna appreciate that when they're kids, but by the time he gets into high school, if he's that kind of person, people look at him and be like, hey, he's a really good guy.
Yeah,
they're gonna appreciate
that
a lot more. And you're gonna do the shotgun method, just be like, get involved in whatever you want, like sports and whatnot.
Because I'm gonna take from mom and dad, and I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let him figure out as much as I can, as much as he can.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna try and fall in line. Mom and dad fell in line. Mom pushed, so we kind of got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, but mom only pushed with certain things.
Yeah, but I don't think I want to push. I don't want to be that overbearing sports dad. But if he wants me to coach his team, if he wants me to help him with stuff,
there's somebody I'm thinking of. Obviously, as an example, I can't use his name, but like his approach was like he just kind of told his kids, "You're allowed to do whatever you want, and I'll support you." Because he was never, when he was a kid, he wasn't allowed to do shit. Sports were off the table. No Boy Scouts, no nothing. Like he didn't do anything, and that's But like I always appreciated that method a little more. It's like, you want to do it, man, go for it. I'll support you.
Yeah.
And like,
and that's what I'll do.
Me, I kind of just sports to me were always something just for fun. I didn't take it too serious.
Once you take the fun out of it, it ruins it. Yeah, I agree.
I was just in it for fun. It's like, dude, this is not.
You're not going pro.
This isn't paying my way to school.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. I was in it to have fun and to get better. And the difference is, though, like, my coach was just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He there was a lot of politics and shit involved there, and honestly, like I got along with the football coaches better than him. You know why? Because I actually respected them.
Yeah.
He was not a respectable person.
He was a shitbag.
Yeah, and
some people don't.
There was a little bit of. I mean, with football, you know what you're getting into. It's like, let's go hard at it. With tennis, it's not the same mindset. But this son of a bitch, there was a lot of psychological torture that went on there.
Yeah.
And looking back, I was like, man, I wish I would have decked him. But yeah, getting off that whole thing, like, it's going to be interesting seeing him grow up. And we were talking about growing up earlier, so I had that little aside that I wanted to talk about. About, like, we weren't allowed to have friends over, like, ever, really. And and I think that led to some problems. But you're absolutely right. It's not just knowing who your kids' friends are. It's you can probably figure it out pretty easily by getting to know their parents. And,
You would think. I mean, there's still a degree of hey, kids can be substantially different than their parents, but it's yeah, I agree with you. That is probably the most important thing, because people forget how much your friends rubbing off on you or can, and especially at crucial ages too, can rub off on you. But I want him also to be able to form his own opinions, thoughts, feelings, experience. I want him to do all that shit himself. I want him to learn from the stuff that I didn't do too well.
Yeah.
But also, like,
you kind of got to be the bumpers on the lanes.
Yeah, but you can't protect him.
Oh, no.
He's got to make his own mistakes the same way I did. That's where I thought Dad was pretty good, because his massive hands-off approach on the border of negligence sometimes would allow us to make these mistakes, and then he was always there to like somewhat talk us through, like, hey dumbass, you just don't stick it in that light socket or anything like that. Like I don't know if that was if it was just casual to him to lay off, or if maybe that's the way I guarantee you that's the way he was taught. But he was always there to like pick us up, when we fell. So it wasn't negligence. It was a bad joke, but his hands-off approach worked best for him. And then Mom was a little more overbearing at times, but she let us.
I think your negligence comment's a little more true than you're letting on, because you remember that time in D.C. he went tearing off for the subway and almost left us on the platform. Didn't say a thing. He just ghosts.
Well, to be honest with Dad, that was back in what, like 03, 02. So that might have been his one chance. Like he might have been like,
yeah,
you know what?
That sign they got next to the highways of like the dad running with the mom and the kids behind it. Like they made
that was him.
They made that sign because of Dad.
That was him. Yeah. I'm Bolton, so they can't catch me.
We know where you live, asshole.
Yeah. like we don't know your phone number and your address and what you drive. Mom knows your license plate. She does your fucking taxes, bro. Like, she knows where you're at.
Yeah,
I think he was just sick of it.
He didn't say a word. He just bolted. We're like, oh, I guess we're going this way, and then we almost didn't make it on the train.
I think for a second he thought, like, he took 3 steps and he was like, shit, my family's behind me.
Yeah, he's not all that. He talks about like brain fog and shit like that now that he's much older. But even back then, I don't think he had a handle on anything as well as he came off as. All right, we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah, we might as well if you want.
All right, so we got.
In conclusion,
we got Harm's Way Is it Harm's Way Podcast on YouTube?
I was just looking all that up to make sure. So no, Instagram is going to be Harm's Way at Harm's Way Podcast. YouTube is going to be Harm's Way Podcast, and TikTok, once we actually get shit loaded up, is going to be at Harm's Way 8993 until we can change that shit in about 20 something days. But yes, that's where you can find us for now. Anything else you got?
Probably hold off on starting up the Rumble channel until we get everything with YouTube figured out. Yeah, that's about it. I don't have any videos on.
Don't really have a bread and butter right now. We're trying to make it so basically anybody can hear us, listen to us, get back with us, message us if you can. Eventually want to get to some live feedback ways, channels,
live shows and shit like that.
YouTube will be nice because anybody can comment, leave messages, tell us you like us, you hate us, eat dicks, congratulations, whatever you want to say. We're good for both positive and negative criticisms, but mostly positive because we're still pretty fucking new. So realize that. Anybody who likes us, we love you. Even the people that hate us, sometimes we love you too.
I think that's a wrap.
Other than that, Craig and Eric, Harm's Way, signing off. Until next time.
You just point like a goon.
Pretty fucking dope, dude. That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.